final in 6 years. Quality meets quality today as the two teams topping their respective into their trophy cabinets. Hi, I'm Kevin Cato, and today I'm joined by two former Uniball finalists. Billy Singleton, now with Thames Valley, was a runner-up in '97 with Chester against the Towers, and Chris Finch coached Sheffield to victory in '98 again versus the Towers. The studio today is loaded with Uniball trophy experience. Words from the fellas shortly. Now, yesterday I took a poll on the other coaches in the championship on who they were picking as today's winner, and Manchester topped the scales 9-2 over the Towers. When I looked at the team tactics, I didn't see a big advantage either way. Both teams won the regular season game on their opponent's court, so a neutral venue for the final is perfect. The Towers are the top scoring team in the league with the Giants in fourth. Manchester, though, are the best rebounding team and the Towers second. Both struggle against a good zone defense, but neither has one. Here, the Giants' defense is exposed by the Towers' baseline trio, resulting in a basket for Coleman. The whole Towers' defense are concentrating solely on the ball, leaving Harrison wide open on the baseline. Zone will be used today only as an alternative defense. The Towers' Steve Bucknell drives to his right hand 90% of the time, but he can also go to the left, force him to shoot the jump shot. Teammate Donnie Johnson is best when playing along the baseline, and he adds a defensive element under the basket. Their opposite numbers average a league-high 44 points a game between them. Dorsey loves to dribble and make the fadeaway jump shot. Here, Coleman must help quicker to offset the move. Harrison is the best finisher in the league. His ability can be too much even for the double team. The shooting guards will be crucial. Danny Lewis has been outstanding, averaging 29 points against the Giants. They must deny him the easy shots. Phil Handy also seems to raise his game against the Towers, averaging 19 points. He's the Giants' main outside threat. The Giants' speed on court will make the Towers pay for their slackness. On the inbounds, Manchester will have to remain alert. Hustle and smart play will count double today. Towers' Ron Aberglin is a rookie here, but a veteran coach, and he won't feel the strain. The Giants' Nick Nurse has won 2 trophies in 5 years in Britain. He has the experience, but the pressure is on. The Towers have the more experienced winners. Now, if both teams play up to their potential, which we all hope, it'll be a great game. But look for the Towers to go away with the victory. Excellent piece by our assistant producer, Mick Brace. Here, we talked about potential, the last thing. If both of these teams play up to their potential, who has the better squad?
I think they're two tremendous teams today. But I do think that the Towers have the advantage because just the experience factor. You know, you look at players like Danny Lewis, Steve Bucknell, Martin Handler, Neville Austin, and they've been here before. So I think if they play up to their potential today, the Towers could be walking away with it.
Looking at the regular season so far, the Towers are 14-12 on the road, which includes European competition. Manchester is 20-3 on the road. Neutral venue today, advantage either way.
No, not at all. I think it just adds to the intrigue of the matchup there, Kev. I think if you look at the one loss that Manchester has at home, it's a road victory for the Towers. So I think that you can throw it all out, final, neutral venue. It's going to be a great game.
Last year, Ronnie Baker, surprise MVP. We know we have the stars, the Dorsey, the Lewises, the Bucknells, Harris, and so on. Yeah. Is there a surprise guy that we should look out for today?
Well, I'll give you 2. On the Towers, I think Donnie Johnson. I mean, he creates baskets when they're just not there. He sustains their offense. He's dynamite in the break and on the boards. On the other end, I've watched Manchester a lot, obviously, this season. And when Conlon can get easy baskets and he can make his outside shots, they tend to win comfortably.
Here you have a team like Manchester. The Towers always get excited when they play Manchester. Is that vice versa?
Yes, I think these two teams, they'll be very excited to play against each other. You know, Manchester, their team, a lot of explosive offensive power. Towers, a lot of experience, so it's going to be an explosive matchup.
Okay, here you have Manchester, best team in the country, January, February, unbeaten. Do they still have the momentum?
I think the break has really disrupted their rhythm. They played a lot of games. They didn't play games early. They played a lot of games in those 2 months, got a great rhythm going, and they were playing top basketball. I think they'll get back there, but just after the break, they've lost a pace or two.
Okay, so, as usual, the stars come out for the big games, and shining the brightest at courtside is our own Suzanne Daniel.
That reminds me, I must give you the money I owe you, Kev, for all these compliments you keep paying me. Now, the players out on court here tonight really know how to win medals, don't they? They certainly have enough of them. The London Towers account for 30 winners' medals between them, and the Manchester Giants, well, they have 13. So experience could play a key role in tonight's game. But two players who epitomise the fortunes of these two teams are the two Dannys, Craven and Lewis. The success of Danny Lewis's career was epitomised last May when the franchise player produced an MVP performance in London Tower's second championship victory.
It's all about winning. I mean, that's why we're here, is to win, you know, and trophies mean a lot in this league, you know. I mean, it means that you are the best, you know, and I'm proud to say over the 6 years that I've really had a lot of accolades that I'm very proud of, and during the Uniball, I wanted to make it one more.
For Danny Craven, though, when Manchester finally broke their 12-year wait for a trophy in last year's final, the long-term giant had been deregistered through injury.
Very disappointed because it's something I've always wanted to do, is win a trophy for the Giants. It seems the Giants seem to win trophies if I don't play for them, which hopefully this weekend doesn't happen. We'll win this weekend.
The Towers have dominated the British game, winning all of the major honours, while Manchester have shown great promise, but never quite delivered.
You know, I give all credit to the organisation for putting, teams throughout the year together that was so perfect for each other. We had a lot of great success. We had a lot of down periods also, but, you know, I've just been fortunate throughout my years being here to win an awful lot of hardware.
We've always had one of the best teams in the league, and to not come up with the goods at the end of the season isn't really what we want.
Despite their pedigree on paper, both London and Manchester are inseparable, producing a final with no clear favourite.
Tonight, neutral ground, to both teams after a trophy. Just whoever wants it the most. It'll be a competitive game.
That's what excites me, you know, is playing someone or some organization that are known and recognizably a good team. That's when we do bring out the best, you know, that we have. And to win a game like that, you know, it's just most satisfying.
Oh, Danny boys there. Here you have the game. It's game time now. You have to have a team that you like. Which one is it, and a strategy do you see them using to come with the victory?
I'm going to go with Manchester. I feel that they've been playing so well through the middle part of the season. Even though they're a bit slow off the break, I think this is their game. Their strength is getting out in the open floor. They rebound so well. Their big guys run so well. If they do that, it's a fundamental part of their game plan. They'll be successful. If they don't do that well, they're going to struggle to beat anybody, let alone in a final.
Who do you like, Billy?
I have to go the other way from Chris. I think the Towers are going to do it. Their size and strength, their rebounding ability, and their experience in these type of situations, I believe will prevail today.
Okay, so thanks for that, fellas. So, they call him the voice, and as he prepares to take us through the introductions, it's a big hello to Daniel Routledge.
Hello, Kevin. Hello to our viewers at home. We're ready to introduce the two teams for tonight's game. We'll start with the London Towers. They're being introduced to the sizable crowd here at the National Indoor Arena in Birmingham as well. Towers, two-time winners of the trophy, looking for their third success in the fourth final in 5 years. Missed out last season after being knocked out in the quarterfinals. Now the Towers to be introduced to the crowd here. First out will be number 4, Lloyd Gardner, junior guard on the team. number 6, the little man, Sean Foote. Number 7, the shooting guard, been a revelation for the Towers this year, Barry Bowman. And Danny Lewis, boasting a new haircut yet again. Next up, H.L. Coleman, who of course defeated the Towers with the Bullets in the championship final a few years ago. Big Neville Austin next out, one part of the Twin Towers, the other half, Martin Henley. Crucial performance needed from him tonight. Steve Bucknell wears number 13 out next, and Donnie Johnson, Dunking Donnie, is last out. Mick Bett and Roger Dehaney, the assistant coaches to Ron Aberglen. That is the London Towers. And the Manchester fans now get to their feet, all stood behind the Giants bench, looking to become back-to-back trophy victors. At number 4, coming out first is Mike Defoe. Number 6, last year's leading scorer in the trophy final, Tony Dorsey. One of the former Towers, Errol Seaman, wears number 9. At number 10, the big Manchester lad, Danny Craven. Wearing number 11 is Stephen Gale. Phil Handy at number 12. They need a big game from him if they're going to come through tonight. Tony Holly, the rebound machine, wears 15. Travis Conlon out next at 21, the guard. And last year's MVP, Ronnie Baker at 23. And finally, Roy Hairston comes barreling out to liven things up on the Giants fans. Nick Nurse is the head coach, and he's assisted by Andre Lane.
This is the first final in BBBL history that the London Towers and the Manchester Giants have met in. Game action coming up.
Live football this Sunday. Man City v Charlton.
Fantastic.
2 promotion chases head-to-head.
Charlton are in the driving seat.
For City, it's a clash they must win to maintain their challenge for an automatic promotion spot. And from Goodison Park, a top-flight clash. Everton take on Newcastle.
Plenty at stake in this Premiership battle. Brilliant.
A football double with interactive coverage. Sunday from 12, exclusively live, Sky Sports and Sky Sports Extra.
People have no idea how tough it was being a rock star. All those girls, late night parties, it was tough. And those endless singing lessons. These days, I just enjoy myself. But I still have the odd fan to deal with. Mum, this has got to stop.
The new Hyundai Amica from £6,799. You don't have to be rich and famous to enjoy yourself.
This is a world ruled by dinosaurs.
Uda's first job is to castrate Pepper.
Pepper.
Being an explorer was the first thing I ever wanted to be.
My body has horrified more than one person.
We don't have a personality, we are the same.
UK Horizons, TV that makes life worth watching.
The Manchester Giants hold the record with 14 consecutive victories in the Uniball Trophy, and their favorite today Will the London Towers beat the odds? Our commentators will describe the drama, and they are Chris Finch and Daniel Routledge.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Yes, the Uniball Trophy final is just a minute away. Let's take a look at the two-team list tonight, starting with the London Towers, who enter this game in boxing terms as the challenger, but their pedigree speaks for itself. The good news for Coach Ron Aberglen is that Martin Henlon is back and fit for them. In fact, Henlon has recovered sufficiently from his ankle injury to get a start here tonight. His presence inside will be key to the Towers, but Lewis and Bucknell will no doubt run the show. To the Manchester Giants and the defending champions, as Kevin said, come into tonight's game in record-breaking form. Their win in the semi-finals over the Sheffield Sharks was their 14th consecutive in this competition, breaking Kingston's mark from the early 1990s. To the starters, and the Giants had their own injury concern this week, with Tony Dorsey carrying a groin stain. He netted 23 points on Thursday night and suffered no adverse effect. Thus, he starts tonight and doubtless will be in top form. The two teams have made their way onto court into the 2000 Uniball Trophy final. Donnie Johnson and Tony Holly will jump it up. Holly wins the tip back to Travis Conlon, and the Manchester Giants get the trophy final underway with Tony Dorsey inside to Phil Handy.
The Towers open up with some man-to-man defense, contrary to what we saw.
Tony Holly with the 3 on the opening play of the game. He's not been scoring as much tonight as he has in previous seasons, but if he can come and get some points on the board, it'll be key for them. The Giants say the bookmakers favorite by a point, Chris.
Yeah, and if they're going to get some big numbers from Holly, we'll see how it affects him. I mean, he's been reduced to much more of a role player. He's been doing it excellently all season. And any baskets like that in a game this big, obviously, are key. Because if he gets off, remember Ronnie Baker from last year really carried him at times through the final.
Tony Holly called for the foul, left of screen, guarding Martin Henlon. Shot goes up and it's pulled down by Tony Holly. Away comes Tony Dorsey now for the Giants. Dorsey going all the way through the middle, throws up the shot. It doesn't go, but it was fouled on the way by Danny Lewis.
So far, Daniel, early indications. We had Donnie Johnson taking a jumper down the other end. Looked a little bit hesitant. Should have just pulled the trigger. We got Towers out of the, Manchester out of the block. A 3 by a guy not used to taking it out there. And then we got Dorsey going right to the hole.
We got a couple of guys in the starting 5 on both sides. Bowman and Johnson for the Towers. Handy and Hairston that are experiencing a trophy final for the first time. Is there an advantage to Manchester because they've played in the cup final earlier this season? They know how big a game this is?
Well, I would think so. And if you listen to the comments after the cup final, they were disappointed in the performance. They thought they played tentatively and a bit tight. And like I said, for the two guys from the Towers, Johnson and Bowman, this is their debut. They're going to need help as well from those guys.
Holly given some space in the corner. Jump shot doesn't go. Handy going after the rebound. It was tipped out of bounds by him. And it'll be an end-line ball to the Giants. Danny Craven getting some treatment already yet to step on court, but he's obviously struggling with that ankle. I noticed he didn't warm up as fully as the rest of his teammates did.
Manchester coming out trying to put on some full court pressure. They do that. They like to take you out of the rhythm of your offense and come after you full court.
Danny Lewis getting a step underneath off a great pass, and Danny Lewis has his first points of the night.
Nice pass by Steve Bucknell. That's why he's so valuable as a big guard. He can see people in traffic. He's got the size to throw it down in there.
Hairston penetrating. Beautiful move from Roy Hairston.
There's that finishing ability that Kevin talked about. Certainly is one of the top finishers in the league. You can't let him get up ahead of steam and roll into the basket like this. And when he unfolds, he's right there at the rim.
Bucknell hands over to Barry Bowman.
Towers look to get set here in a play.
Right through the hands of Donnie Johnson. Manchester will get the ball back. One of the interesting matchups I've seen so far is you've got Steve Bucknell guarding Tony Dorsey right here. That'll be a key factor in tonight's game.
Yeah, again, another great thing about Steve Bucknell is in this league, he's big enough and he's versatile enough to guard a range of players. He can guard anyone from really the point guard to the four-man.
Phil Handy doesn't quite get the roll on the 3, just rims out. Danny Lewis will run it back.
Manchester come out and put their bigger guard Handy on Lewis.
Would you be tempted, as having coached him before, to have maybe put Travis Conlon on Danny Lewis?
Well, I think what you'll find is through the game, Nick will switch it around. I think, you know, he definitely rotates his defenders to keep them fresh, much like people used to do against Michael Jordan. Just instead of trying to shut him down with one guy, use as many as it takes.
Both teams keeping their own boards clean. No offensive rebounds so far in the game. Dorsey with the spin. Doesn't get the roll. The tip from Hairston didn't drop either, and the Towers come up with it.
Well, we have two excellent rebounding teams here, both big, athletic, and active. Fundamentally sound on the boards, too.
Lewis for 3. Yes! Danny Lewis knocks out the 3, his first of the night, and the Towers lead by 1.
That's his absolute favorite shot. Top of the key. Oftentimes you'll see him taking it on the break. There he gets it in the flow of the offense.
Dorsey lobs into the low post, and Conlon looking to back in on Bowman, going strong, and the foul's called against Barry Bowman.
Here's an interesting wrinkle for Manchester's offense. Something we used to do with Travis last year is put him down in the post when we felt we needed a basket. He's good in the post. He's an excellent passer. He's strong. He can finish. And I've seen them a little bit of late put this into their offense. They put it down there when they want to settle things down, and they move the big guys out. It's tough for the guards to defend.
H.L. Coleman getting his first taste of the action tonight, as is number 4 for the Giants, Mike Defoe.
Towers jump into a zone off the inbounds play here. See how active they are in it. Have a habit of standing around.
Andy in the corner, toes on the line. Dorsey fighting for the rebound with Coleman. Coleman is judged to have touched it last.
I think H.L. Coleman could play a big role in tonight's game. He's been a bit spotty for the Towers so far, but he got a lot of potential, got a talent.
He knows this arena very well, H.L. Coleman. When he played with the Bullets, this was their home court before they moved up the road to the NEC.
And he's a much better shooter than he's been shooting percentage-wise this season. If he can get a few to drop, it may just be the key.
Conlon inside to Hairston. Hairston with a nice move, but couldn't get the lay-in to go. Lewis will run it back. Looking for some help. Now he finds H.L. Coleman going along the baseline, out to Bucknell. Fakes the 3, now takes it. Steve Bucknell's 3 is short. Good work on the offensive glass from Coleman, but Conlon comes up with it. Dorsey lines one up from deep. Off the back of the ring, Defoe chasing it down. Good work from Mike Defoe, but he could only knock it out of bounds.
Yeah. And we still don't have an offensive rebound.
Manchester been accredited with 1, but both teams doing a good job not giving any second options. Henlon strong inside, and it's so crucial that Henlon can come and give a big performance for them tonight after suffering that ankle injury against you.
And speaking with Rick Taylor, general manager of the Towers before the game, he was really excited to be having Martin play out there because, you know, what he can do physically remains to be seen, but his presence, his leadership ability is felt it's going to give his team confidence. We've seen him affect some shots already down inside, like that one there, and the drive before by Hairston.
Andy now looking to shoot over Henlon. Bucknell going after the rebound, grabbing it, and the foul is called against Tony Dorsey.
You see the guards, we had Conlon rebound, and we see the guards getting in there. So Kevin put up a lot of great points in his graphic and his piece pregame. But oftentimes finals come down to little things. You got to do the fundamental things. You got to rebound. You got to get loose balls. You got to keep the ball in possession. You can't turn it over. I think that's going to be the biggest key as well.
Towers 5 straight points, lead by 3 here, midway through the first quarter of the Uniball Trophy final. Time ticking down on the Towers offense. Out to Coleman in the corner for 3. Yes! H.L. Coleman knocks it out, and that's saying that he is a good shooter.
The stroke that we saw when he played here at Birmingham. I'm sure it's the stroke that encouraged the Towers to bring him. they can find him a little bit, could be the danger man.
Nearly 4 minutes now since the Manchester Giants last got themselves a floor basket. Conlon trying to change that one up, going strong. Defoe with the offensive boards. He'll go up again, still can't get it to go. And Danny Lewis will run it back now for the Towers. To Bucknell, throws it forward to Coleman. Coleman goes up. Great pass from Bucknell to find open Coleman.
Textbook fast break with 2 cross-court passes. A beautiful look from Lewis to Bucknell, and Bucknell for the finish at Coleman.
The Giants now have missed 9 shots in a row as they're trying to get some points on the board in the early going. Hairston for 3, yes! And that's a good way to break a streak like that.
Yeah, he's such a nice player. He can score in a variety of ways. He don't look like he can shoot the ball as well as he can, but he always hits big 3-pointers.
Bucknell to Bowman.
Manchester jump into a little bit of his own defense themselves.
Great block by Roy Hairston. Phil Handy will run it back now. Still Handy going all the way through. Nice little stutter step to the crossover and drew the foul.
And Manchester been taking the ball to the basket real strong so far to start this game. Gotten a couple fouls out. You see obviously a foul there coming back.
This was the block at the other end. A good defensive play by Hairston. Bowman sold the fake to lose Dorsey, but he couldn't get rid of Hairston.
Yeah, a lot of size in there, a lot of athleticism. Should have probably just challenged it going up in the first place.
Morton Henlon get himself a breather. Checking in for the first time is Austin, and there's Ronnie Baker, MVP of last year. Checks in. Tony Holly coming in too.
Sorry to cut across, Daniel. Probably his finest game, Ronnie Baker's finest game last year.
Made 5 3-pointers in the game last year. That equaled the final record. And a well-deserving MVP it was too. He really kept the Giants in the game in the first half.
And he's having a great season off the bench, and he's shooting the ball real well, and he's scoring, and he's doing a lot of different things for him in a role that they desperately needed last year from somebody off the bench, and they really found it this year. I think Ronnie's enjoying a nice season. Still in his own.
Lewis fakes at the 3. Now he's into a double team. Hairston runs back. Bowman on the far side.
Certainly one of the criticisms of the Towers this year has been their inability to put the ball in the basket against his own defense.
Well, as Kevin said in the top of the show, neither team has been very effective against the zone. They much prefer to play against man-to-man. Do you think that's why we've seen a little bit of zone early on in this game?
Yeah, I think Nick felt there was a way to get the game back going his way.
Hairston's shot doesn't go. Danny Lewis runs it back. Lewis tried to get it out to Bowman. Dorsey's hand was there, but Bowman still has it. Inside to Neville Austin. Back out again. Bowman for 3. Off the back of the ring, Dorsey with the boards. Foul called on Danny Lewis. Number 2 on Danny.
That's a big foul, too, in the first quarter. And he's one of the players in the league has the ability, though, to be able to play tough defense and stay in the game. And if they stay in the zone, that'll help protect them as well.
Danny Lewis now going to the bench. Coach Rana Aberglen doesn't want him to pick up a 3rd foul here in the first quarter. Handy to
Towers back man-to-man.
Dorsey looking to penetrate to the finger roll. Nice looking move, but couldn't get the shot to go. Just 1 point in the opening 8 minutes for Tony Dorsey. And Ronnie Baker caught one in the face from H.L. Coleman. Baker was setting the screen, and Coleman just bumped him out of the way, and Baker caught one right in the mouth.
Yeah, clearly Lou using his elbow to get through a screen, but Baker just 6'8" against 5'8", the elbow in the wrong place.
Now just watch, there's the screen, boom, hit him hard. Ronnie Baker picks himself up, dusts himself down, and he's now going to walk to the foul line and see if he can get himself his first point of the evening. Yes, indeed. Pretty
low scoring first quarter here by league standards, and typical of a final. Both teams taking a while to settle down and missing some shots, but they're rebounding real well, so they're not getting second opportunities.
Bowman handles it over the halfway line now for the Towers. Coleman cuts through the middle to the elbow, stumble to the ground. The Giants come up with the loose ball, 3-on-1 break. Dorsey out in front from Handy, but just a little bit too far in front of Tony Dorsey.
Yeah, he had Ronnie Baker running down the middle of the floor there. I thought he should have probably kicked it to him, and then he could have made the defender make a choice, and it could have come back or over to Dorsey.
There's a shooting in the game so far. It's nothing to write home about from the Manchester Giants right now.
No, but if you're a Manchester fan, you got to think 3 for 15 is only going to get better, and maybe London's squashing some opportunity to put some distance in this league.
The Giants with the last 6 points, nearly 3 minutes now since the Towers last scored. They don't get one there with Coleman. Baker chasing it to keep it alive. Great play from Ronnie Baker. He did enough. It was going out of bounds for a Towers ball, and he threw it off Neville Austin to keep it in Giants possession.
And that's what people love about Ronnie Baker. You know, throw his body around. He's a 5'8". You saw him just take one in the chops. Here he's going whatever it takes into the perimeter board. Great hustle play. That's what you want from all your players, particularly guys coming off the bench. Zone again by the Towers. Look for Handy off the baseline here.
Here's Phil Handy. He had to come right up the top to get the ball. There's Handy. Thought about a shot. The defense was there quick enough. Flip round to the near side. Dorsey on the spin. Nice move from Dorsey. A little too strong on the lay-in. Bucknell with the boards.
Towers' size is really bothering the finishing ability of Manchester.
Lewis for 3. I think Baker might have got a piece of that. Coleman saved it. Johnson back out to Danny Lewis. Bucknell looking to penetrate, trying to find Neville Austin, was fouled on the way by Ronnie Baker.
Good job by Neville getting that rebound, kicking it back out. Good job by Danny settling it down.
We got subs both ways. Martin Hendler back in. Travis Conlon for the Manchester Giants coming in as well. Tony Dorsey going to the bench. The foul called on the inbound play. Donnie Johnson walks to the line. The foul is on Tony Holley. He's not too sure about it. That's foul number 2 on him.
A little quick hitter, and that one could be costly. Just got beat, cut to the basket. Probably with the body. I'm not sure.
Donnie Johnson at the line, off the back of the ring with the first free throw.
We talk about a neutral venue, and this certainly is a neutral venue in every sense of the word, because other than H.L. Coleman, teams haven't played here all season. Most other neutral venues, so to speak, are other teams' floors. So people have to get used to the angles and the dimensions of the place and the perception as the game goes on. We should be, should see better shooting percentage.
Can be difficult to shoot where there's nothing for quite a way behind the basket. Giants ticking down now. Last offense of this period should be Conlon through to the runner-up. Doesn't get the lane to go. Coleman gets it. Lewis backs it forward. Still Danny Lewis fighting for it. Throws it up. Tough play. No, he stepped out of bounds first. The Manchester Giants will get 3 seconds here. Here's Lewis running down the sideline. Just there. Referee right on the spot, as you can see from that replay, to make that call.
Yeah, poor outlet pass there really probably cost the Towers a basket. Certainly cost them an opportunity to get a shot.
Heston from deep for 3 off the backboard. It didn't go. Loose ball is down. And it's been a very tight first quarter here, as you would expect in such a big final. It's the London Towers 15, the Manchester Giants 12. We'll be right back after this.
This is where the body parts are made, sir.
This is absolutely enormous.
The car has a 10-year anti-corrosion warranty.
Really?
We have 240 robots here.
Marvelous. Oh, look at that. Incredible. Oh, stand back. Get back. Hello.
This is the first car in its class to meet the new European emission standards for the year 2005.
this, I must say. I think this is terribly impressive.
Every single car is individually tested before it can leave the factory.
Every car?
Yes. And this is the finished article.
I say. It's wonderful. Well done. And I hear you also make those funny little Skoda cars here as well.
Welcome back to the National Indoor Arena, the Uniball Trophy final. At the moment, the London Towers lead the Manchester Giants by 15 points to 12. With me, the Sheffield Sharks coach, Chris Finch. Chris, let's take a look at the match facts now for this opening period. And the shooting from Manchester has been terrible. Towers not much better, but Manchester 17%.
Yeah, and it's going to get better. You know, it's going to get better. 1 for 13 on the inside. You know, neither team seems to be real comfortable with the shots that they're taking. That's what I see.
Is it good defense then, perhaps?
I think it's good defense. I think it's early game nerves. I think it's good rebounding. You know, not getting any second shots. That obviously helps the percentage.
13 rebounds off the Manchester missed shots. Towers with 12 of them defensively right there. Really good, strong work.
A lot of missed shots, a lot of rebounds.
5 points coming off the bench for the Towers, all for Coleman. And we're ready to go with quarter number 2. Again, it's Holly against Johnson for the tip. Holly can only tip it to Bucknell. Bucknell looking for some support and finding it in the shape of Danny Lewis. Coleman.
Manchester still sitting in that zone. Kind of like a 1-1-3 zone. Whichever way the ball goes, the guard picks up the first pass.
Coleman's 3 doesn't go. Henlon fighting for it, as is Bucknell, but Holly comes up with it. All on his own is Conlon. Blocked, but off the board first. Count the basket for Travis Conlon. But good work from Coleman to chase back.
Well, I'd like to see that again, because that's not the call for the official underneath. Yeah, it was up on the boards. Good call. It's actually the official on the trails call. Of course, that's what we're told on the sidelines.
Once the ball hits the backboard, you got to leave it alone till it hits the ring. Coleman got there just after the board, but before the ring. Football violation called. It'll be a new 30 seconds. Came off the foot of Tony Holly. Barry Bowman will check back in. Here's another look. There's Tony's feet. There, just booting it away.
Towers are, seem a bit unsure in the shots they're taking, what they want to do with the ball against this zone. If they're not careful, they take some quick, fast shots, and like we just saw, will feed the Manchester break. The Manchester guards do a great job of leaking out. Their big guys run well, and that's where they get easy points.
Lewis, bullet pass to Johnson, and Johnson's hit hard by Danny Craven.
Yeah, and that's what he's in there to do. Clog up the middle, take fouls, don't give up any easy baskets.
Look at that pass.
That's an excellent catch, too. Good concentration. And he knew what he wanted to do with it when he caught it. He was going to turn and finish.
Donnie Johnson at the line, 1 for 2 so far tonight. He's only a 61% shooter on the season.
The only tower to visit the free throw line. I think it's one of the things that they can do to crack the zone. They can, try and get it inside, maybe post it up and get some fouls on it. They counter with a little bit of zone themselves. If you like zone basketball, this is the place to be.
It's interesting because in the package at the top there, Kevin said we wouldn't see much zone, and yet both teams have gone for plenty of zone in the opening period here.
Well, I think both teams are recognizing that it's probably a weakness of the other team, or it has been at points throughout the season. I mean, both teams obviously have good players. They can make baskets on from the outside, but overall, they're not the two of the higher.
The alley-oop from Conlon hit the ring before Hairston could get to it.
They're not two of the better three-point shooting teams in the league.
Handy under pressure. Great play from Henlon with the block and pulled down the rebound as well. Lewis pulls up, fakes the pull-up, hands over to Bucknell, and Nick Nurse very unhappy that Craven was called for a foul there.
Yeah, I think he wanted the exact same call at the other end. From our angle, we were a little bit shielded off. I'm interested to see it again. Oh, yeah, he got him up there on the body. You got to protect the shooter when he's going to the basket. Down at the other end, I felt that the ball was exposed in Handy's hand, and I thought Henlon had it clean.
Bucknell with his first point of the evening off the second personal foul of Danny Craven. 2 of 2 from Steve Bucknell. The London Towers 19, the Manchester Giants 14. 8 minutes to go in the second quarter.
I know that you're attacking a zone defense here for Manchester, but you got to find a way to get the ball to Tony Dorsey. You got to get him shots. You got to make him feel he's part of the game because he's such a valuable part of your offense.
Dorsey just 1 point so far tonight. Conlon for 3, his first 3 of the night.
He is shooting the ball much better this season than he did with us last year. He's worked on it. He's done a great job. You can't just flat out leave him alone. You got to put him under pressure.
Bowman going past Conlon, flips into Johnson, who gets up quick for the lay-in.
And again, soft hands on a catch. You know, guard penetration. You got to be ready for that pass anywhere. Great pass. They're doing a good job of getting inside now. Quick finish.
The two guys you tipped as dark horses there coming up with back-to-back plays, Conlon and Johnson.
Well, particularly against the zone defense, those are the guys that you're going to rely on to make stuff for you.
Handy with a quick pass into Danny Craven for the lay-in.
Nice creative move here to the baseline, and Danny moves into space. Excellent camera work there.
Henlon with a bounce pass to Bucknell, reverse to Johnson for the slam. 2 great passes, the easy score for Donnie Johnson.
What you're seeing now again is penetration. They're penetrating into the zone. They're cutting into the zone. The zone's got to get a little bit more active, maybe condense itself. Both teams figured out he's trying to get into the middle of the zone now.
Conlon trying to get it into Craven. It does by a handy Craven off the glass with a nice looking jumper.
He's got the size. He's got the size to contend with Hedlund. That turnaround jumper there.
Had a great game on Thursday night, 20 minutes off the bench, and got himself 10 points. Did a good job for Nick Nurse.
I know Nick's been real happy with Danny's play this year. He's put him in at times.
Nice move from the big man to reply at the other end. Martin Henlon off the glass with a jumper of his own, and the foul is called, I believe, on Craven, was it? If it was, it'll be number 3. Let's take another look. In fact, it's Conlon on the reach. There's Conlon going in, just there, slaps him.
Ooh, I didn't see any slap. I think the referee a bit out of position on the baseline. Big guys have come to play. They've been impressive in the middle today.
Henlon converts the 3-point play. The Towers leading by 5.
Henlon's ankle doesn't seem to be bothering him too much. But what we have to watch is his stamina. He hasn't been practicing, hasn't been playing for a week and a half now.
Dorsey with the spin, gets the foul, couldn't get the lay-in. And that'll be foul number 2 on Martin Henlon.
I think this is a... Yeah, he reached across his arm there. Leaning in, draw the contact. Good job by Dorsey. That's his move. Everybody knows that's his block. He loves to spin away.
Dorsey with just 1 point in the opening 14 minutes of the game. Nails the first free throw, and he's yet to get a shot to go in open play. He's 0 for 2 for 3, 0 for 3 for 2. And the only points he's got are the 3 he's now got from the foul line.
Yeah, they just need to get him more shots. He'll come around. Man-to-man now by Manchester.
The lob pass a little bit too much on it. Danny Craven with the easy steal. Dorsey now out running. Johnson gets in the way, and Dorsey is fouled.
Good outlet pass. Trying to come back to his right hand.
We got 5 minutes and 48 seconds of the second quarter remaining. The London Towers lead the Manchester Giants by 26 points to 23. The first timeout of the Uniball Trophy final has been called by Nick Nurse and the Manchester Giants. Let's go down and take a listen.
All right, what do you want to run here? Sideline. 2. Listen. Yeah, okay. I'm just giving you a little breather. Pretty good job now. You take some stuff away defensively, cut a pass or 2. We got them. Pretty good job. Okay. Deny the passing lanes, but keep in front of you. No easy stuff. let's protect the basket. The last, against the zone, they got some easy stuff on the left. We go back to man and protect it, okay? 2 sideline, okay, let's look at it. And let's guard them now here. Play man-to-man like we can play it, all right? Let's go, let's go. Team, 1, 2, 3, team.
Nick Nurse happy with the way things are going, and if you take a look at the shooting percentage, you can see a vast improvement there for him.
Yeah, like, you know, it's been the penetration down inside, getting some free throws, coming back. You know, I think Nick, going back to the man-to-man, they're a good man-to-man team. You know, why sit in the zone? You're not a zone team. Let's go out and play. We're in a final. Let's do it. Do what we do best in the finals.
How difficult is it for players to adjust when there's a lot of changes in defense?
Well, it depends how your system's built, really. I mean, but at this level, it shouldn't be too difficult, Daniel. When you boil it all down, basketball, it's about moving and passing, dribbling and shooting.
Dorsey still can't get a jump shot to go. That one rolled out. The Towers running it back with Bucknell. Henley hands back to Bucknell. Rolls it back into Martin Henlon. Double team there, so Coleman's open for 3. His shot bobbled out too.
And Manchester's off on the quick push. Man-to-man, they actually run better out of the man-to-man.
Danny Craven with a nice 14-foot jumper. He's 3 for 3, 6 points.
And he's all excited, as he should be. He's been playing well. Pick up a point I mentioned earlier. You know, speaking of Nick throughout the season, he's real happy with the play that Craven's been giving him off the bench against some of the bigger guys, your Ian Whites and so on in the league.
Bucknell at the second attempt. Who'd have thought, though, midway through the second period, the leading scorer on the Manchester Giants side is Danny Craven with 6. Here he is again, same spot, same shot. Not the same result, though, but Conlon with the rebound. Fires up strong over Henlon, everybody fighting for it. But eventually Hairston has it. Hairston now penetrates, spins. Beautiful move from Roy Hairston.
Hey, he's got that long striding step in there. He always maintains his balance. Excellent finish. Look at this, this is pretty. Henlon not quite quick enough to get over and challenge on the weak side.
Danny Craven called for the reaching foul, and that is foul number 3. And given the way he's playing at the offensive end, that's a huge foul.
Yeah, and a stupid foul. Let's face it, Martin Henlon's 35 deep in the basket. He's not going to shoot that. You're not going to steal it from him. Might as well get off a little bit, just pressure the passing lane. When you're playing well, your team needs you.
Danny Lewis rearranged his shot to get it to Henlon. Oh, and Handy could only tip it out of bounds. He was trying to grab it, didn't know if it was coming off the ring or not, and eventually just knocked it away.
And already, I noticed on that possession, we see the Towers trying to get back on defense rather than going to the boards. They're a good offensive rebounding team. They need to go to the boards.
Danny Craven now whistled for foul number 4 here. Nick Nurse doesn't believe it. Danny Craven thought he got a bit of a block on here. Here's another look. The lob into Henlon.
I thought it was... Oh, yeah. Clearly on the arm. Clearly on the arm.
His 4th foul of the game.
I don't think Nick realizes he's got 4 now. He does that.
There's Nick Nurse. He's not sent anybody to the sub bench to go in for Danny Craven. I think it would be the quickest foul out in Trophey history. I don't know if they keep a stat for that. There's the empty chairs. No subs on it yet. No movement on the Giants bench, so they're going to leave Craven out there with 4 fouls. Craven goes strong to the basket. Didn't get enough on the layup. Nick Nurse screaming for a foul. Lewis running it back. Blocked from behind by Handy. Foul is called. Handy's got to watch himself. The referee is teed him up. And he wouldn't leave it alone.
No, I think Manchester just got to maintain a little bit of composure here. Craven trying to do probably a little bit too much out the other end. Towers on the push. Yeah, I mean, you know, from that camera angle, it's hard. It's really, we'll see something better here. But anytime you swat that aggressively, maybe you got to clean it. It's difficult. I thought we heard some slap anyway.
Well, that's 2 fouls because Handy was called for the team. Nick Nurse with a timeout. Let's take a listen.
Okay, Howell, you go back here for Danny, okay? Hey, we got a rebound now on the free throw, okay? Hey, we're okay. Just keep taking it in there strong. Don't give him anything easy, okay? Nothing easy. Don't give him anything easy, okay? And we got to finish down there. We know that. All right? Okay. Hey. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, hey. Keep your heads up. Let's go.
7-2 the foul count in this quarter alone. There'll be 4 free throws now for the London Towers. 2 for Steve Bucknell on the original foul by Phil Handy, and 2 for, I assume they'll send Lewis to the line in that situation for the technical foul. And Nick Nurse still got a word or two with the referee right here.
Yeah, he's upset. I think we all go through this. The calls are going against us, but I think a lot of the calls have come either on the transition when you're out of position or on the offensive rebound when you're out of position. A lot of times you try to make a desperate play to make up for it. You get caught creating a foul.
Bucknell makes the first. There's no lineup as they wait for the second set of 2. Bucknell makes them both. And now they will line up. Danny Lewis says, move out of the way. Does he? No, he's going to let Bucknell shoot them. Danny Lewis is the best foul shooter on the Towers team this season, shooting 84%. Steve Bucknell not far behind, 82% from the foul line. And he's made them all 4 there. 6 of 6 from the line for Bucknell so far this evening. He's got 8 points. The London Towers lead it by 6.
Man-to-man defense. Switching a lot of the screens there by Manchester.
Hairston going strong after Coleman gambled on the inlet pass. Nick Nurse still got some words for referee Dale Aitchison on the baseline. And now he turns his attention to the other referee, Andy Thacker.
The difference was, there was contact, but Henlon had his hands back, and Hairston came right at him.
Oh, great steal from Travis Coleman. Pick his pocket. He'll run it back. Easy lay-in for Travis.
Great job by Travis. He's such a great defender, particularly in the steals department. He gets easy buckets like this, just when they needed it most. That's what I felt one of the biggest keys for Manchester this season is Travis Conlon has the ability to create easy baskets either by himself or for his teammates when they need him.
And now it's him that's guarding Danny Lewis, and it's quite a battle between the two. As Lewis tries to get the ball, he wants to prove a point after that steal. Coleman in the corner. Henlon reaching high to tip it, can only save it to Hairston. Now Handy has Dorsey ahead. Here's Dorsey. Dorsey! Slams it home.
Excellent break, exciting break, good kick ahead. That's the strength of the Manchester team. As they kick the ball up, they pass to the open guy above them so well. And they're all good finishers.
Dorsey's first field goal of the night. It's 6 without reply now from the Manchester Giants. 33 apiece. An offensive foul has been called a blocking foul. Danny Lewis whistled for the foul. That's number 3 on him.
And since the technical, the momentum's definitely swung back to Manchester Giants.
There's the foul trouble. Lewis on 3, Danny Craven on 4. And you would think Lewis being on 3 is a slightly bigger factor for the Towers than Craven on 4.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Coleman's going to have to step up and give something from the perimeter. We haven't heard anything about him all day.
Blocked by Martin Henlon. Rebound Coleman. Away come the Towers. Flip forward to Donnie Johnson. Johnson under pressure from Conlon, and now Dorsey as well. Aggressive defense from the Giants. Bucknell out to Bowman. Bucknell now for 3 short. Rebound Hairston.
Yeah, without Danny in the game, they're going to lose some organization. They're going to have to get set. Either Bucknell or Bowman's going to have to take control and make sure they're getting good shots every time.
Foul number 2 on Danny Johnson. Danny Lewis picked up 3 fouls in the midweek in the first half and carried it pretty well in the second half when he came back out. There's the foul on Donnie Johnson as he reached in on Hairston.
Nick's doing a good job of rotating his players out. He knows that Holly's got 2 fouls, Handy's got 2 fouls. He's going to want those guys with more fouls to give, be able to play pressure defense in the second half.
9 of the 10 players on the score sheet have come on already for the Manchester Giants. Conlon with a great pass to a wide open Roy Hairston for the slam.
Yeah, you got to put the ball under more pressure coming off that pick and roll. Excellent job by Travis finding open people. There it is again, open, easy basket for his teammate.
Just a couple of moments ago, the Giants were 27-33 down. 8 without reply now has given Manchester Giants the lead. First time since the start of the game. We're inside the final minute of the first half. Bucknell has it. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Coleman going along the baseline, gets the shot off, wave off the score, charging foul call against H.L. Coleman. Conlon taking the charge.
Hey, Travis has really stepped up. Excellent job on the defense again. Since the technical foul, he is really, really taking over for his team.
Good stand from Travis Conlon to take the charge.
He got there, it was still...
Conlon to Hairston, lines up at 3 off the back of the ring.
Got that little bunny step when he shoots.
Johnson with the jumper.
He's got a real nice mid-range jumper. Catches the ball up high, keeps it up high.
The Manchester Giants now, no shot clock. They can run this one right down to the buzzer. And that appears what Travis Conlon is going to do. We're tied at 35. Last offense of the first half. In the Uniball Trophy final, Conlon is going to go against Bucknell. Conlon goes all the way, feeds it inside, lost underneath, and eventually Errol Seaman gets it to go. And that is half time. Roy Hairston leads all scorers, the only man in double figures with 11, and the Giants leading by a couple.
In 1988, Livingston set the record for most points scored in the final with 96. At the half, Manchester has 37, Towers 35. Join us after the break.
I've just got a free digital dish and box from Sky.
All I had to do was pay for the installation. That's why people are switching to digital.
To get your free digital dish and box, call 0870 240 2000.
We've just found the tiny PC that's ideal for us. It has an Intel Pentium 3 processor,
colour printer, DVD, loads of top software, and all for £999, including delivery.
We saw it in PC Choice magazine, Tiny's plain English guide to choosing a new computer.
And we had a really helpful demonstration at our local Tiny store.
Phone now for your free copy with details of your nearest showroom.
PC at Tiny.
There's no service charge and no time limit on our vouchers with new pay-as-you-talk all calls from Vodafone. So because you only pay for the calls you make, it's perfect even for people who don't talk that much.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Vodafone, the UK's most popular network.
Three Ds from Doritos. A whole new shape with a lighter crunch that begs to be eaten in very loud ways.
Ay, Chihuahua.
Doritos 3Ds, now in cool spice flavour.
Is that indigestion or heartburn? Or worse, is it both? That's why Rennie introduced new Rennie Duo. Its powerful liquid formula works in two ways. First, it soothes and helps control your heartburn. Then it goes on to neutralize your excess acid. Ask your pharmacist for new Rennie Duo. Powerful relief from indigestion and heartburn.
This is Sarah Cheng from Bow in London. She's very happy. Sarah discovered she can buy and sell pretty much anything on the internet at goricardo.co.uk, so she bid for a mini disc, a red suitcase, and a laundry bin. And she's selling a mixing deck, an upright vacuum cleaner, and a coffee maker. Sarah is very happy. Go buying, go selling, goricardo.co.uk. That's Go Ricardo. What will you auction today?
With the half of the Uniball Trophy final, the Manchester Giants lead the London Towers by 2, 37-35. Highlights from the first half, Manchester in the zone. They leave H.L. Coleman wide open in the corner. He drops the triple, 12-6 to the Towers. Here the Towers find a hole on their out of bounds. Johnson is fouled by Holly. It's its second, lead 15-12 to London. Against the Tower zone, Phil Handy delivers to Danny Cravens for the deuce. But London comes right back as Bucknell delivers the pass to Johnson, who knows how to finish, 23-19 to the Towers. Manchester went on an 8-point run without reply. Harrison finishes 35-33. Both teams managed to score 2 points the rest of the half. Manchester leads 37-35. Billy, here you have Manchester, Handy, and you have Tony Dorsey. Only one field goal between them in the first half. They still managed to lead by 2. If you're sitting in Manchester locker room as a player, what are you thinking?
If I was sitting in Manchester's locker room, I think we're in good shape. I think the Towers controlled the tempo for most of the half. They got Manchester in a slow-down game, a half-court situation. And like I said, if I'm Manchester, if I'm Nick Nurse, I'm happy right now. They're doing a great job on offensive rebounds. They have 8 as opposed to Towers only 2. So, you know, I think they're in good shape. I think if Manchester is able to pick the defense up a little bit more, they'll be in better shape.
Speaking of defense, both teams are in a zone defense. Either one doing any better than the other?
Well, I'd say the Towers are doing a better job because they play it a little bit more. I don't think Manchester consider themselves a zone defense. That's when they gave up a lot of their soft points, particularly when Towers started to figure it out on the inside. I think you'll see more man-to-man on the Manchester end. I think Towers will go in and out of the zone the rest of the game, depending on what it calls for.
Were you surprised that Manchester wasn't able to get as many fast breaks as the Towers are usually susceptible to?
No, not at all. As I said in the beginning of the game, Coach Aberglein, he's a great coach when it comes to one-game situations. Last year, in the NCAA tournament, he coached at Weber State. They played North Carolina, which was the #1 seed. They were led by a guy named Joe, a.k.a. the Show, Arsenault, and they did great. I mean, they knocked North Carolina off, and this is a very similar situation to the NCAA tournament that's going on in the States right now.
Okay, so let's look at the match facts and see what they say. Manchester shooting 38% from the field, but somehow that's pretty good from the way they started in the first quarter.
Yeah, 3 for 17, I think they started, and then, they got more buckets, and it was Craven getting some easy stuff down inside to get them rolling, getting them to the free throw line as well with their penetration.
And here you have the Towers are able to get to the free throw line, 13 attempts in the first half.
The Towers, their athletic ability, as I said at the beginning, their athletic ability, their speed, and their size came into play. Tony Holly, great rebounder. He was on 2 fouls in the beginning. Danny Craven came in his position, and he tried to clog the middle, but the size and strength of the Towers came into play. A.K.A. Donnie Johnson, H.L. Coleman.
Best bench production in the first half.
It's got to be Craven without a doubt, but I think the 4 fouls is a bit. One of them was silly foul. If they get that kind of production from them in the second half, they're going to win.
Craven's had 6 points in the first half. The Towers 7 turnovers though against mainly a zone defense.
That's uncharacteristics of the Towers. They're normally a team that controls the ball. But Danny Lewis, Manchester's doing a great job on him. They're face guarding him. He needs to get himself going a bit in the second half to give the Towers a better chance of winning the ball game.
Manchester led at the most important stages of the game, at the beginning and at the end of the at the half. The Towers jumped in the middle, but really the middle doesn't matter.
No, I mean, leadometer is great, but at the end, that's all you want. The next 20 minutes, that's what they'll be excited about.
Okay, so we're joined at courtside by Suzanne Dando and a very interested fan of basketball.
Well, Kev, I'd say more than an interested fan, this is one of the guys in British basketball. It's always great to have him back on our screens again. Billy Mims, coach of the Leicester Riders. You've been here all before, not Uniball, but National Cup and the big games, haven't you?
Yeah, we've won a few titles, and there's nothing like playing for a championship. It's a great crowd here today, and I hope the fans at home can really get a feel for this atmosphere, because this is top-class basketball, fantastic atmosphere.
Typical final fashion, though. Low scoring, looked like both teams a little difficult to settle in.
Well, I thought both teams are very tentative. I'm sitting with Mike Finger of the Birmingham Bullets, and he and I were trying to count the fast breaks that we saw in the first half. I think we could count them on one hand. Both teams seemed very tentative. Then both teams went to zone defenses to really slow the tempo of the game down. I think they're feeling each other out, deciding who can do what. It's going to be the third quarter that really the champion might be decided.
You like the third quarter. You always liked the third quarter, didn't you, when you were the Leopards? What have Manchester got to do, or what have London got to do to hang on to a lead and win this game today?
Well, I actually thought London did a very good job in their man-to-man. I thought Manchester were really struggling against London's man-to-man. But then Manchester went to a zone defense. Towers figured they'd follow suit. They went zone. Manchester shot it well. I think Martin Hinland does a great job clogging the middle and helping the Towers guards defensively. So if I'm Towers, I go back to man-to-man. If I'm Manchester, maybe I stay with the zone, because after they went zone, Towers' offense began to sputter a bit.
Who knows, they might be in that changing room right now listening to you, Billy. It's great to see you again. Thanks for joining us at halftime. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for that, Suzanne. The Towers led by 3 at the end of the first quarter. They trail by 2 now. The action is just heating up. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
He has deciphered a message written in the most sophisticated code the world has ever known. Not only is he 9 years old, he is autistic. You okay in there? I'm not gonna hurt you.
Bruce Willis.
Somebody pulled the cops off the kid at the hospital.
Alec Baldwin.
The NSA is willing to have this boy killed to protect the code? What agency do you work for? Who is this?
The first showing of Mercury Rising, tonight at 8 on Sky Premiere. The biggest films every Saturday night, guaranteed.
Sean, it's raining. Can you get the washing in?
Sure, Mum. And I'm making your tea.
Sean?
Steve is doing it. I'm making him his tea.
Aww. That'll warm them up. That's for Stephen. I wonder what's keeping him.
Easy tasty, bird's eye, lovely.
So, Miguel Vasasasas, your novelty musical Sombrero business just gone public. How did you do it?
Illa peglunua the new FT.com. Gerascalla lunadua helaglio a personal office lad. Iliesta le search engine like me ferret.
I see. So you'd recommend FT.com to any aspiring businessman?
Esquetero. Does a bear numero dos in the woods?
Go on, do the little laugh.
No.
Have you got the FT. competitive edge?
British Gas is shaking up the energy market. Soon there'll be no standing charges and a new pricing structure for all our domestic mains gas and electricity customers. So quite simply, if you use nothing, you pay nothing. British Gas. The big shake-up has started.
The most combined team points scored in a final was 187, and that was in 1988 when Livingston beat Portsmouth 96-91. Here it's 35-37. Our game commentators are Chris Finch and Daniel Routledge.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Yes, a few people in the house tonight. There's Clive Allen and Amico Etete, Birmingham Bullets, of course, and Mark Ford having a chat with Michael Hales, coach of Derby and the assistant at Thames Valley. Mike Finger, of course, in the house here tonight with his wife Susie watching on.
It's great to see the community come out and support the big events, Daniel. I think it's, finally no games on a day of a final. Sometimes we have scheduling conflicts. We got to play around the league, but it's a great atmosphere here. Billy alluded to it earlier. You got to get down to see basketball played in person. That's what it's all about.
And we're off and underway with the second half. Who that touch last? Nobody quite knows, so we'll take the jump ball again. It was right in front of us, and I couldn't see who touched it last, so we'll try that one again. Johnson and Holly to jump it up, and neither of them get it clean. And eventually Roy Hairston comes down with it for the Manchester Giants, who will start with the first offense here in the second half.
Manchester able to set up attack the man-to-man.
Beautiful pass from Dorsey to Roy Hairston, the game's leading scorer with 13.
Yeah, good cut there, nice find. Interesting matchup is Johnson guarding Hairston. Now, athletically, they're probably very, very well suited to guard each other, but Johnson's not used to guarding people on the perimeter.
Great hands again by Conlon for the steal, and he profits again with the layup. He picked Barry Bowman's pocket this time and ran it back. Yes, good hands.
Coach Beglin needs something else out of Bowman other than turnovers, particularly costly ones.
Bucknell, long two, toes on the line for Steve Bucknell, and that trims what was the largest lead of the evening for the Manchester Giants from 6 to 4.
Good screen there by Big Martin Henley, allow him to get the shot off.
Handy to Conlon. Dorsey wants it in the post, but Bucknell's preventing it. Now it's there. Dorsey backing in to Holly. Holly's jumper doesn't go. Bowman with the boards.
Good defense there by Bucknell, keeping him under pressure.
Bowman back out to Bucknell. Lewis guarded again by Conlon. It's been a very interesting matchup when those two have been going head-to-head.
Good job, Manchester. Really, they help and they go back on that pick and roll real well.
Johnson's jump shot doesn't go. Bucknell with a push in the back to clear out Phil Handy and grab the rebound.
First foul on Steve Bucknell. Contested shot. Good defense by Manchester. Couldn't really see there. It looked like a foul from my angle. I thought he had his hands on his back. Good call.
Number one, as Chris said, on Steve Bucknell, the first one of this second half.
Okay, let's watch this matchup right here. On the dribble, Hairston's going to have him. On the cuts, he's going to have him. Down inside, I think Johnson's probably got a better advantage playing in the post-up game.
Holly running out of time now on the Giants offense. Out to Conlon. Conlon got to shoot it. Conlon, one on the shot clock, gets it off. Bowman, after Johnson tipped it off the boards under pressure from Hairston. Bowman now fakes at the three, stumbles to the ground. Dorsey throws it long to Conlon. Conlon back to Hairston for the slam.
Bowman's hesitant to shoot. He's just flat out hesitant to shoot. He should have let that one go. He's a good shooter right there. Tripped up, can't help that, but he still needs to be more aggressive looking for the shot.
Lewis penetrating through the middle out to a wide open Bucknell for three. Dorsey with the rebound.
That's where you want Bucknell shooting from.
Dorsey throws it long to Hairston. Handy trying to save it.
Good hustle.
But couldn't quite get there.
Excellent hustle there. And Manchester's come out real energized here. Real energized on the defensive end. And they got all kinds of hands in the passing lane.
6 points so far for the Manchester Giants off the 9 London turnovers in the game.
And they got 5 steals.
But only 2 turnovers the other way with no points coming off them. Lewis from deep is short. Johnson with the rebound. Bodies flying. Johnson goes to the basket, draws the foul. I think it was on Handy, and the basket will count.
Dorsey fell down pretty hard over there.
There's Johnson going up.
Excellent body control. Good finish.
Foul number 3 on Phil Handy. Johnson can't convert the three-point play. Holly with the rebound. Dorsey and Bucknell. Dorsey went hard to the ground on that last play, and he don't know if he's just sucking some air right there just to try and get himself going again. Here he is with the ball. Hairston, who's borne much of the offensive load for the Giants so far, with another nice move.
Beautiful move, got him up and under. He's got so many moves. Excellent finish. 17-point leading scorer by far in this game.
Bucknell inside to Hanlon. Hanlon flips it up. Foul is called. Count the basket for Morton Hanlon, and he'll go to line now for a three-point play.
Another little ticky-tack foul. Definitely a foul there. Pushing, got his hand. He knows it. Poor rotation over there. London Towers do a great job of passing the ball on the pick and roll to Martin Henlon, and he keeps it up high and he gets finishes like that. You know, he's a smart player. Doesn't bring it down to allow the guards to get it or the quick guys to get it. Keeps it up there and he gets a lot of fouls out.
Martin Henlon with 8 points here tonight. Remember, he came in with an ankle injury. He's had no real problems with it thus far. Holly for 3, off the back of the ring all the way out to Handy. Conlon now into Dorsey. Dorsey with the step under, going strong, can't get that one to go. Rebound Bucknell to Bowman. Bowman pulls up over Conlon off the glass. Lewis fighting for the rebound, touched him last. The Giants get it back. But Dorsey just can't seem to get anything to go for tonight. He's 1 of 8 shooting.
Yeah, it's size. You know, Dorsey's struggling with the size. First of all, to get the ball with Bucknell on him and then turning and seeing Henlon there or the Johnson leaping at him.
But if you look at the scoring here, you've got Hairston and Conlon have done most of it. Craven had his 6 points off the bench, and then Dorsey down there on 5.
Yeah, and those were the easy baskets have come in their offense as well.
But still, the Manchester Giants lead by 3, despite the fact that Phil Handy and Tony Dorsey have struggled to get anything to go. 1 field goal between them. Hairston's shot won't drop either. Lewis to Johnson. Johnson dances underneath the basket for 2.
Nice push. And that's the sum total of the Towers break tonight. You know, they really haven't done a great job of getting out on the break. I think they're a real good running team. Standing on the push is probably one of the best things they do.
Danny Lewis only has 5 points in the game as Dorsey goes to work. Here's Lewis with the rebound, and Danny's 5 came in the first quarter. So 2 of the guys you looked for to step up and be big factors in the game, Danny Lewis, Tony Dorsey, have been relatively ineffective offensively.
There are a lot of good players out here. There are a lot of good players out here, and you know they're going to cancel each other out. And oftentimes, it's those role players, it's those guys off the bench who step up and need the big game.
Steve Bucknell and Tony Holly jumping up, 2 veterans of the game. Bucknell win the tip, but it came back into Holly's hands. Holly penetrating through the middle, lays it in, his first score since the opening basket of the game.
Yeah, just going right around Henlon out. That's where he has an advantage on him. It's been a real interesting game. It's been a great game. Every basketball been hard to come by. Nothing real easy. That's what he expected a final. We've seen not the prettiest of basketball all the time. It's been physical, but it's been pretty sound.
Defoe whistled for the foul as Danny Lewis took it to the basket strong. Still had Defoe guarding Lewis.
They got Defoe. They're just going to bring him out here, beat him up a little bit. It's a tactic that they use. They use it on our guards all the time.
The tip just about drops for H.O. Coleman.
If he can get going in this game, then they'll have that extra offensive dimension that they're lacking at the moment.
Holly for 3, yes! 5 quick points for Tony Holly. And the Giants lead it by 4.
Last time Henley went out to him, he goes around. I mean, Henley drops off a little bit too much. He takes the 3-pointer. You got to play what's given to you.
Lewis lost it. Henley diving on the floor, saves it.
Great hustle.
Bowman for 3. No, off the back of the ring, and Defoe grabs the boards. Dorsey in the post, spinning his triple team, finds Defoe. Defoe is blocked by Henlon. Foul is called against Big Martin Henlon.
Late call. He picks up his 3rd foul on that late call. He runs over and doubles as you see it. Actually, a triple team, bad rotation there. Too many people to the ball. Ooh, look clean to me.
Martin Henlon certainly arguing his case that he had a clean block there. Thought the referee was going to hand the ball to Barry Bowman to shoot the free throws for a second there. He stepped to the line, but it is Mike Defoe who's there, short on the post. Defoe missed them both. Henlon with the boards. Lewis under pressure from Defoe, hands over to Coleman.
Gonna look to post the guard here.
And it'll be both guards posting up. Now Henlon comes into the low post. Here he is. Shot clock down to 6. Henlon's got to go for it now. He does. Off the glass. Nice move.
Sheer size advantage down there. And Travis Conlon a little bit late getting down there to help. That deep. Almost can count it.
3 towers now in double figures. Henlon with 10, Buckner with 10, and Johnson with 13. Heston, the only man in double figures for the Giants with 17. There he is getting the boards and trying to stick it back. He'll have a go from the foul line as he draws the foul from Donnie Johnson.
Offensive rebounding there, letting them down, letting the Towers down. They had 3 guys and somehow Harrison does a good job. Got to watch his feet down in there. Looks like he is took an extra step to get off balance.
Bucknell back into the game. Here's the foul trouble as we tick down the last 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Johnson, Lewis, Henlon, and Handy on 3. Craven got 4 in a hurry in quarter number 2.
You'd hate to see foul trouble be an issue in a final this big. You know, let's hope that the referees keep a consistent whistle throughout.
Heston up to 19 personal points. The Manchester Giants lead by 4 here in the Uniball Trophy final against the London Towers. Less than 2 to play in the 3rd quarter. Henlon wants it in the post. Lewis gives it to him. Henlon looking to go to work on Holly again with the shot clock ticking down. Spins blocked by Holly. Holly says, I didn't get in. The referee says, yes, you did. And Nick Nurse takes a walk, goes down to the boards, and he just can't believe some of the whistles he's caught tonight.
We're not going to see a whole lot from there. Ooh, looking pretty clean.
Tony Holly and Andy Thackeray, the referee, with an exchange of views on that last goal.
I think what this is one of the debates around the league. You know, you got a guy in the post, you got a defender leaning on him, and the referee's telling us time and time again, you know, we're not going to call the foul until you go to make the move, because actually when you make the move, you got that much pressure leaning on. You're really holding the guy from making a move. So you get a clean block, they're probably calling the hold, but it's something that needs to be addressed. Post play in this league, we got to come up with a consistent way of, you know, allowing the guys to play defense and blowing the fouls as a result.
Danny Craven checks into the game on 4 fouls. Henlon misses the second, goes after his own board, and did enough to... Lewis couldn't quite keep it alive. But Martin Henlon, you know, he wasn't sure if he was even going to play as early as short ago as yesterday. 11 points, 5 boards, 3 blocks, and assist. He's had a tremendous job tonight.
Yeah, and he's a big game player. He always plays well in the finals. I mean, last year again in the Wembley semifinals, he killed us. He just had a fantastic game. Veteran, knows how to play, smart.
Won all 4 of the major honors 3 times during the 1990s. This will be a 4th trophy winner's medal for him here tonight if he can get it. He's won 2 with the Towers and 1 with the old Kingston franchise.
Towers dropping back zone here.
Ronnie Baker's 3 doesn't go, but the rebound came out to Conlon. Lewis, did he get away with a double dribble perhaps there as he span through?
Clearly picked that one up. A little bit fortunate here. Good hustle though. Good hustle by Conlon. Foul control. Here we see him pick it up.
The other end, nothing but string on the 3-pointer from Travis Conlon. 2 of 2 from deep tonight. He's got 12. The second Giant into double figures. Bucknell backing in Hairston. Looking to spin. Spins both ways. Nice move from Bucknell. Didn't get the roll. Conlon with the boards. Conlon running it. Tripped up by Danny Lewis. No call.
That's got to be a foul. I cannot live with that call. I cannot live with that call. It's either got to be a foul or it's got to be a turnover. Sometimes things that happen in sports that just aren't fair, that aren't right. If you trip and fall, that's part of the game. If you foul, you foul.
There it is. Danny Lewis definitely took his feet from under him.
And it should have been a foul on Danny. There's no doubt about it. That's what happens if the referee didn't see it and he just saw the trip. God, I don't like that call. I do not like that call at all.
Nick Nurse didn't like it either. The Giants will keep possession of the ball. It's a no call, no foul, no turnover. Just giving the ball back to the Giants. Nick Nurse saying that should be his 4th foul. Danny Lewis is, of course, on 3, so that would have been a huge factor in the game if Lewis had got that foul.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, it's just aggravating. It's just not in the rule book. It's not a fair application of the rules. Maybe fair in the world of fair, but it's not in basketball.
Here's Lewis with the steal to Bowman. Bowman slams it home for the final score of the 3rd quarter. And Danny Lewis comes up with the steal when he might have got a foul just seconds before. Trims it back yet again. This one is going to the wire. Towers trail by 2. We'll be right back.
Sunday on Sky Sports, another great Super League contest.
Sensational!
Wigan, a team of irresistible talent.
Brilliant try!
Lock horns with the formidable Leeds Rhinos.
Super run!
A mouth-watering encounter to savour.
Super try!
Between 2 of the game's heavyweights.
Brilliant skill!
The new season of Super League continues with Wigan Leeds, Sunday at 6:30 on Sky Sports 1.
Step 1. Extend body into full reverse arch. Step 2. Bend feet towards buttock area and hold. Step 3. Open a nationwide instant access cash ISA and embark on a journey of personal growth at 6.85% per annum. Relax. It's nationwide.
Welcome back to the National Indoor Arena, the Uniball Trophy final, just 2 points in it at the end of 3. With me, Chris Finch, the Sheffield Sharks coach. Chris, let's take a look at the match track so far. And in a 2-point game, you wouldn't expect much between the 2 teams, and there hasn't been, except for perhaps the 3-point shooting.
Yeah, and you know, London's not a strong 3-point shooting team. Neither is Manchester. Conlon's got 2 for 2, so you got to feel that that's a little bit of a bonus out there.
And if we flip over to the next page and take a look at the rebounding, again, fairly even.
Yeah, and both teams have been doing a great job. Been well prepared in their defense, boxing out well. And they're real good defensive rebounding teams. They're good offensive rebounding teams.
The 2 teams make their way back out onto court. And we're ready to go. Danny Lewis just clutching his thigh as he came out from that last break there. Ball on the way up when it was tipped. So it will be given.
Every time I'm with you, Daniel, I make this point. But can we please do something about our jump balls in this game? I mean, we've already had 2 bad situations off with jump balls. Start of the half, and that time, we got to throw it up there. These guys can jump.
Is there perhaps a case for doing like they do in the NBA, just giving one team the ball at the start of each quarter?
Yeah, why not? I mean, we might as well. The jump balls become quite a joke. It's almost not fair at times.
Henry wants it in the post and gets it. Gives it back to Lewis. Nice give and go from Danny Lewis, and he draws the foul.
Yeah, excellent feed there. He cuts on the feed. Conley gets caught a little bit flat-footed. Only Roy's second, so it's a good foul there. Can't give anything easy up. No time to give easy baskets.
Danny Lewis for the chance to tie the game here. It's the London Towers 55, the Manchester Giants 55. The Uniball Trophy final. We're inside the final quarter. You said Manchester at the top. Are you sticking with Manchester?
Yeah, I'm sticking with that. They've got many more easy basket opportunities. I think that's going to be the key, like this one.
Exactly like that one. Tony Holly with a nice move. He's now into double figures. That's 3 Giants now into double figures. But Dorsey isn't one of them, and Handy isn't one of them. Still a surprise how quiet those two have been offensively.
Yeah, Handy's been in and out of the game with foul trouble. Dorsey, they're just playing good defense and forcing him to shoot over a double team, forcing him to shoot fading away oversized.
Lewis becomes the 4th Tower now into double figures. 7 guys in the game with 10 or more, and there's only been 114 points in the game. Dorsey is fouled on the jump shot. It doesn't go. He was fouled by H.L. Coleman, former teammates at Birmingham. Foul number 3 on Coleman.
Interesting. Yeah, again, probably hit him, but the swipe is so obvious it's easy for the referees to call. Coleman's still upset about it.
Dorsey now, that's point number 6 for him. 4 of them have come from the foul line.
Donnie Johnson checking in for Martin Henley. Now that'll actually free up the middle of the Towers defense a little bit, but it may make them quicker getting out on the break.
Bowman to Bucknell. Bucknell looking to penetrate, flips it to Johnson. Johnson did well to catch and finish.
All of a sudden, the Towers are finding holes in that defense. Some slow rotation there by Manchester.
Dorsey looking to spin the shot again short. Rebound Bucknell out to Lewis. Lewis stumbling, loses the handle. Hairston gives it to Dorsey. Dorsey spins. Knocked away by H.L. Coleman, and the Towers come back. Now Lewis off the glass, and the Towers go in front.
Big possession. Here comes Manchester right back though. Never give you a breather.
Foul called on Barry Bowman. It will send Travis Conlon to the foul line. Here's another look at it. Again, it's the swipe down.
Yeah, swipe down. It's, I don't know if it's lazy defense. I mean, I was watching a game, college game from the United States, and they were talking about that as being a new trend, trying to get that steal. Well, new trend gets a foul in my book.
Handy's 3 doesn't go. Hairston can only bat it out of bounds. And the London Towers, who are enjoying their first lead since the second quarter, get the ball back. The difference right here is 3 for 3 against 1 for 3, which is why the Towers have gone back in the lead here, Chris.
Yeah, they got a pick and roll layup. They got a transition back in.
Towers shooting getting better quarter by quarter so far.
We thought that would happen with the teams getting more accustomed to the arena here. Manchester's going back to zone.
Bucknell Bucknell for 3 short. Johnson, who was quickest to it.
Bucknell knew it was short when he let it go.
Bucknell back to Johnson, great pass, didn't get the roll though. Donnie Johnson, and he was fouled by Travis Conlon.
Active along the baseline, Daniel. On the rebound, he chases down the shot, and then he just gets into space. Bucknell, again, big guard, being able to pass over top. He's such a good passer. I think it's probably the best part of Steve's game. He does a lot of things well, but he's a good passer. He really makes the players around him better.
Tremendous vision, Steve Bucknell.
He grew up, playing for North Carolina in a motion-based offense, very selfless offense, and he's used to passing the ball.
Came up through the Crystal Palace Junior program, Steve Bucknell. Of course, the London Towers now playing out of Crystal Palace, so it's like returning home this season when he went back to the Towers. The London Towers lead the Manchester Giants by 4. The Giants with the ball, 7 minutes to go in the game. Hairston, guarded by Johnson. Hairston driving through, trying to get it to Holly. Holly couldn't quite keep it in bounds, and the Towers will have a chance to extend their lead again.
Manchester's offense just stagnating a little bit. They've tried to feature Dorsey the last few times down. This time they tried to let him run around the flow of the offense, but H.L. Coleman did a good job of denying him the ball, forcing the drive by Hairston.
Bowman penetrating through to Johnson for the slam, and the London Towers now lead by 6 with 6:40 to go in the final. Nick Nurse doesn't like the look of things. His side's lead has vanished. The Towers in front. He's for the timeout. Let's go down and take a listen.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
Okay, listen, hey, this time down we're gonna run fist, okay, Roy? You bring it, you're okay. Listen now, God damn it, we're giving them everything at the basket. Okay, we're going back man, but we won't guard them in man either. We got 7 minutes to play some defense and get some stops and rebound. Missed into 4 out. Let's go. Team, 1, 2, 3, team. Come on. Step up.
Nick Nurse not happy with the defense, going to change back to man-to-man, but he's not been happy with the defensive production by the Giants. Should he be worrying about the offensive production? They've only got 4 points here in the opening 3 minutes of this quarter. Not a lot from Dorsey. Dorsey is 1 for 11 shooting. Phil Handy is 0 for 6.
Yeah, their defense definitely feeds their offense. Gives them a lot of easy transition stuff. You know, if your big guys and your scorers just aren't scoring, sometimes there's not a lot you can do about that. You have to forget about it. You got to maybe let the other guys get the flow. Get it back to Holly. He would seem to have the stroke going. You can over-feature a guy.
Here's Dorsey again, finally gets one to drop Tony Dorsey, and he's the sort of guy that he might be 2 for 12 now, but he could still rattle off another 10 or 12 points in a hurry.
Yeah, well, if he got that far down the line before they brought Big Martin in to contest the shots, I'd be surprised. But certainly can put the points on the board in a hurry.
Bodies flying. Danny Lewis hits the deck. Bucknell going to work inside. Forced out to Bowman. Tried to throw it into Coleman. Dorsey with the steal. Feeds a wide open Handy for the one-handed slam. And suddenly, after Phil Handley's first field goal of the game, it's a 2-point game.
Yeah, it's another poor decision there. Way out. No one actually thought he was going to really shoot that thing. He jumped up and everyone played the pass. Good defense there by Manchester. Picked up their intensity a little bit out of that timeout.
11 turnovers by the London Towers. Manchester only coughed it up 6 times so far.
And 3 of those were, I think, early in the third quarter. So they've done a great job of controlling the ball. One of those little things that we talk about, little things in games like this are so big. I mean, look at that turnover right there. It's maybe all that Manchester needs to spark.
Ron Aberglen using the break and play to have a quick chat with referee Andy Fackley.
Yeah, and let his boys rest.
Danny Lewis, guarded by Travis Conlon. Off the high screen from Johnson, jumps into the double team. Bucknell now in the corner. Thought about the jumper, didn't take it though. Now he's looking to penetrate. Great move from Bucknell. Didn't get enough on the shot. Wanted a foul.
A poke in the eye, I think, wanting a foul there. Steve's not naturally going to shoot that bad. Big possession here for Manchester.
a chance to tie or possibly take the lead with a 3.
Postman Dorsey on the opposite block here on the screen.
Here is Dorsey. Dorsey ties the game at 65, 5 to go. You said Manchester, are they going to win it in 40 minutes or do we need an extra 5?
No, I think it'll be 40. I think it'll take it in 40. I think this game will be won in regulation.
The final shot then?
I don't know. Threlmeyer's back to Sheffield. I'm not too sure about that. No, I think that in the next couple minutes, I think Manchester defense will take hold. They'll get some transition buckets just like this.
Dorsey to Heston is fouled from behind by Johnson, and a reasonably would have been a reasonably small foul because it was an open score. But Johnson now picks up foul number 4, but perhaps he should have let him go.
Yeah, I'm not going to give up anything easy, but if I'm Abden, I'm thinking about when can I get Martin Henlon back, because Manchester's recognized that he's out of it. He's going to Dorsey in the block. That last basket, they had no pressure on him down there. They didn't challenge. You let him get in the groove, he's going to make it all night.
Heston way too long on the free throw. There is Martin Henlon still sitting on the bench. Heston misses them both. Danny Lewis with one hand pulls it down.
I'd like to see Coach Ableden maybe bring him in here for Bowman. Move Coleman to the 3. He can certainly play that. He can guard a range of guys, make him real big for the stretch run.
Lewis penetrating under pressure. Great move from Danny Lewis. Towers back in front.
Beautiful move. Beautiful move.
Henlon is acting as cheerleader when he's not on court. Very vocal both on and off the court, Martin Henlon. Handy for 3. Rebound Donnie Johnson. 4 minutes to go here in the final. The London Towers leading the Manchester Giants 67-65. It's one apiece in their 2 previous meetings. Both teams winning on the road. Bucknell is fouled from behind by Dorsey.
Wow, did Steve do a great job of rescuing that play. Donnie Johnson floats the pass up there. Steve's size and strength holds him off. Ball and head fake gets him up. Manchester doing a good job not giving away anything easy.
Tony Dorsey having a chat with the referee. I think he's looking for some whistles at the other end. Hanlon warming up. I don't know whether that's him getting ready or him just reminding the coach, hey, coach, I'm here, put me back in.
I think he's trying to keep that ankle loose. You have a tendency to sit down and gets real stiff.
Bucknell misses the second. It's 3 minutes and 35 seconds to go here in the ball game. The Manchester Giants with the ball, trailing by 3.
Look for a 3 by Handy on this one.
Here he is. Defense prevented it on the floater from Phil Handy. It's a 1-point ball game.
He's got one of the smoothest games in the league. Excellent on a 2 or 3 dribble pull up in the lane. Elevates so well.
Lewis back to get Conlon. Conlon backs it away. Now Lewis gets to go again. Tough move from Danny Lewis. Bobbles out though. Holly with the rebound. Holly. Dorsey on the blocks. Going strong over. Oh, great play from Tony Dorsey.
They're not coming with the double team like they were in the first half. They stopped coming with the double team. Johnson's much more worried about picking up the high post cutter, but it's clear that Dorsey's not going to pass it. They need to get over there and get pressure that.
Dorsey trying to knock it away from Coleman. Bucknell has it now. 10 on the shot clock. Bucknell spins, is blocked by Roy Hairston. No reset of the shot clock though. Now the referee says yes, reset the shot clock, a new 30 for the London Towers. Bucknell will try and inbound again. Lobs into Lewis. Lewis forced to retreat with 4 Giants around him. Lewis now looking to penetrate. The foul is on Travis Conlon as Lewis barreled his way through. Foul number 3 on Travis.
Yeah. Danny beats him on the step there, and Travis not going to let him get the shot up. Good foul.
Conlon and Lewis getting all huggy down in the low post.
We call that wrapping up on defense.
Bucknell round to Bowman. Johnson with a 15-foot jumper, nothing but net from Donnie Johnson. The Towers lead by 1, less than 2 to play.
Excellent pass by Bowman. He saw the guy charging at him. He made a pass underneath him, found the open man with the extra pass.
Dorsey going against Bucknell, and the foul is called against Steve Bucknell. Foul number 2.
Good call, a lot of body. Just called the same thing at the other end.
Dorsey to inbound, lobs in. Both teams now on 4 fouls. Any more fouls will result in free throws. 1.5 to go. The London Towers by a point. The Manchester Giants to regain the lead through Dorsey. Bookie said Giants by 1. You agreed with that. Is it going to be a 1-point game?
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Giants by 1. Dorsey's got it going now. And they got a go-to man.
Tony Dorsey with 10 points here in the 4th quarter. 15 in total. Made his last 4 jump shots as well. Steve Bucknell now, time running out. Bucknell penetrates to the high arcing runner, and now the Towers are back in front.
What a shot. I was watching the shot clock. I was wondering if they knew that they had time. Bucknell recognizes, goes right down with the right hand, his trademark jump hook.
Inside the final minute, most of the fans here at the NIA on their feet. Dorsey stumbles, but Conlon gets it back. Nail-biting stuff as we tick down in the final minute. Here's Dorsey again to the spin. What a move! Oh, it didn't quite go for Tony Dorsey. He'll have to go to the line. Donnie Johnson has fouled out of the game. The game's leading scorer, 21 points. He's been very active along the baseline, as you said. He's had a great game.
He has had a great game, but they got Big Martin to come in here. He goes over. Early in the 3rd quarter, and certainly in the first half, they were there on the catch. They were there on the catch to double. I don't know if they've changed tactics in their huddle or not.
Donnie Johnson going to the bench, getting the applause from the Towers fans right behind the bench. And here comes Big Morton England racing onto court. Can't get on there quick enough.
He's ready to go. He's a big game player. Wants to get in and help his team.
Dorsey now with a chance to once again hand the lead back to the Manchester Giants. Ties the game at 72. 3 points is the lowest winning margin. Chris Finch, your team did that a couple of years ago against the Towers. This could be the closest final in Uniball Trophy history. It's the Giants now who lead by a point. 40 seconds to go. The Giants should get an offense back. There should be at least 1 go for each team. But Towers must score here. Danny Lewis on the ball, 15 seconds for him to shoot. Off the high screen from Henlon. And he's fouled by Tony Holly. Danny Lewis will go to the foul line shooting 2. He's the sort of guy you want on the line at this stage. A few years ago, our viewers may remember Danny Lewis went to the line against the Leopards in the championship final, nailed 2 to win the championship.
Yeah, there's one place that Danny's comfortable. It's on the foul line. Good job, excellent call there, staying consistent with the call that they called down here, Bucknell on Dorsey.
Nick Nurse has called a timeout, perhaps to ice the shooter, but we'll go down and take a listen.
Okay, listen now, listen. We're gonna run 3. Okay, we're gonna run 3. Okay? Gonna have a hard time getting it to you. You gotta get open.
Danny Lewis just receiving some ice treatment there onto his hand. But he's been receiving treatment for most of the game in various different points, and I'm sure that hand won't hurt when he steps on the foul line in about 30 seconds time.
Now they're going to need ice in his vein. Two big shots. He's going to step up and knock him down.
Danny Danny Lewis, the second best free throw shooter in the country. 84%, 2 of 2 tonight. He needs to make at least one on this trip.
I think the key with this is he's only been to the line twice. He's, shoots so well because he gets there so often. But he's so, he's been here before. He's been here for big situations. We'll see.
The big crowd in the house. Nerve-wracking stuff as we tick down 23 seconds. Danny Lewis with a chance to put the Towers back in the league. He's staying with the Manchester Giants. Got one last chance to change, Chris.
No, they got the ball. Either way, they got the ball for the final possession, and that's what you want. Destiny in your own hands. Nick's got him set.
Lewis to tie. Danny Lewis, calm as you like, ties the final with 23 seconds to go. Whichever team wins, the one that loses doesn't deserve to. Tremendous game. Nick Nurse doesn't even look. Looks the opposite way from Danny Lewis as he fires up the second, and the Towers lead 74-73. Giants need a score.
Daniel, you want to get into your offense. You want to take a shot with about 5 seconds left, so you got a chance to offensive rebound tip.
Dorsey, who's had the hot hand in the fourth quarter, to Holly.
Handy coming up off a 3 here. Dorsey down inside.
Dorsey trying to get the post position. Conlon penetrates. Holly to Handy. They got to look to shoot soon. Handy lost it. He's got to shoot it. Handy loses it again. And the London Towers, in dramatic style, have won the closest ever Uniball Trophy final by a point. Martin Englund, Steve Buckner, what a defense.
Outstanding defensive stand. They closed everything down. They forced them to take a bad shot. They got a hand on the bad shot. They closed it down. They played excellent defense. All credit to them.
Ticker tape flying for the London Towers. An absolutely spectacular game. And Danny Lewis with the 2 big shots at the end.
It was. I thought the defense was tough all game, and I thought the last play there just summed it up. No one willing to give anything away. No one willing to give even a free look in on that one.
The bookie said Manchester by 1, but in the end it was the Towers by 1. You've got to feel sorry for Nick Nurse and the Manchester Giants. 2 finals this season, 2 defeats.
Yeah, I mean, Nick's done a heck of a job. Let's face it, 2 years ago, Manchester wasn't even competing for finals. They're there. They're always going to be there. He's a heck of a coach. He's got a great team. They'll be back. All credit goes to him for getting them there. They destroyed us in the semis, but today's day, it was just easy buckets came late to the Towers. They played defense down the stretch. They rebounded well down the stretch.
Donnie Johnson had a great game, 21 points, leading scorer.
Yeah, and he did it in a quiet way. I mean, they didn't really go to him. He got stuff off the second and third option. He got stuff off the offensive rebound. Like we said, manufacturing baskets, keeping their offense alive. That's why he's so valuable.
That's the London Towers celebrating their victory here, but at the other end, you always have to feel sorry for the losers. The Manchester Giants right here, there's nothing they can say.
There isn't. Tony Dorsey did a great job coming alive late. They kept going to him. They're going to him. He's your go-to guy. You've got to go to him in the shut. They look. Maybe they overlook, shut down a couple other options. But hey, again, credit to the London Towers with the defense. They just shut everything down on the perimeter.
Yes, indeed. The London Towers are the Uniball Trophy champions for 2000. The 3rd time they've won this competition. They've really been a dominant force throughout the end of the 90s, and now they look to be carrying that on into this new decade.
Yeah, since I've been in the country, this is their 7th championship. We've got 6, and we've always competed against both these clubs for championships. Towers seem to be the premier club at the moment.
Tony Windlass of the Milton Keynes Lions. He's been here before with the London Towers. His best mate, Danny Lewis, he was there. He's won 2 trophies with the Towers, 95, 96 and 96, 97. He's the first one out to congratulate his close friend, Danny Lewis. Steve Bucknell, veteran of the English game.
I think you see one of the strengths of the Towers organization. They've got tradition, they got family, they got guys who are proud to have played for them. They got guys who want to come back and play for them. You got your Martins and your Steves, and obviously they keep keep in contact with former players, and that means a lot to an organization because it feels like you're doing more than just playing basketball.
Travis Conlon, Tony Dorsey there. Travis Conlon had a great game defensively. Dorsey came alive in the fourth quarter, but it's such beats. It's the sort of thing they don't want to even be here and wait for the presentations. They just want to get in the locker room and forget about this one really now.
Yeah, I mean they've got to be devastated painfully. They thought they had control at times, and Travis had a heck of a game. He really did everything. He's their engine room. Just wasn't enough. But that's no discredit to him or his guys.
Martin Hedlund looking for a face in the crowd. He eventually found it and salutes up to them.
Hope that wasn't to me.
And now the presentation party. Danny Lewis still receiving treatment. Danny Lewis, the Manchester Giants now going up to receive their mementos from Neil Webb, the managing director of Mitsubishi Pencil Company UK. Stephen Gale up second. Ronnie Baker was first now. Errol Seaman comes up. Here's another one. We had the piece at the top of the show. Danny Craven, he came out, gave it his all, and unfortunately is taking the loser's medal.
Yeah, he had a fantastic first half there.
Roy Hairston could barely even take his trophy off Neil Webb. Now Mike Defoe is up next. Travis Conlon, Phil Handy.
And Phil Handy. And the coaching staff.
Nick Nurse consoling his players. Tony Hawley hasn't even gone up yet. Hasn't come out from underneath that towel to get his award. Andrea Lane goes up. A winner here before with assistant coach Kevin Cagle at the Towers, and Nick Nurse is the last man up. Tony Hawley still can't believe it, just can't, doesn't want to go up and get that runners-up medal.
It's painful. You can't describe the pain to those guys who put everything that they had into the preparation, and they just came up with short. But let's talk about the run they've had in the last 2 years in this tournament. I mean, they've pretty much owned it, I think, but the team who's owned it in the early part of the 90s just kind of reclaimed it.
And now Nobuyuki Nakazawa, the vice chairman of Mitsubishi Pencil Company, holds the Uniball trophy, and the captain now, Danny Lewis. For the first time, it's not Roger Dehaney who's become the assistant coach. Danny Lewis goes up to receive the award, shakes the hand of Nobuyuki Nakazawa, takes the trophy, poses for the pride, poses for the cameras, and what a great moment that is for Danny Lewis.
Yeah, excellent. And a lot of rumors surrounding this being his final season, and pick up a trophy this late in this season, and obviously a lot to play for coming up, but what a legacy he'll have left if he does decide to leave.
And now they go up player by player. First up, numerical order, Lloyd Gardner. His first trophy with the London Towers, formerly with the London Leopards. Next up, Sean Foote.
Sean Foote didn't get any action tonight. The size of the Manchester guards probably kept him on the floor, but he's
one of the rookies here. Barry Bowman, his first year in this country, and here's his first piece of crystal to take home. They're replicas of the actual Uniball trophy itself. They're quite sizable as well. H.L. Coleman up next.
Thought that H.L. did a great job on defense tonight on Dorsey, and he came out and gave him something on offense too.
Danny Lewis wants his little momentum away. He still won't give away the actual trophy. He's not letting anybody else touch that. Neville brings his son up with him to collect his honor.
That's a great scene there.
Equals the record for most trophy wins of a player with 4 for Neville Austin. Martin Henlon picking up his fourth winner's medal.
Number 13,
Steve Bucknell up next.
How about that shot he made running in the lane? That I think could have been the shot of the game, because not only was it an impressive shot, it was the time and the situation.
Danny Lewis still posing for the cameras. The game's leading scorer. He fouled out at the end there, but quiet, as you said, but very effective with his 21 points.
That's what I love about him as a player. He doesn't have to have the ball to be effective. He does a lot of other things. He knows his role, and he plays it well.
And now the assistant coach is going up, Mick Beck, who is now 6 for 6 in the Uniball Trophy finals, having as a player, as a coach, as an assistant coach. And Roger Dehaney, who's no stranger to silverware himself, the assistant coach comes up and collects his. And now the head coach, his first trophy in British basketball, Ron Aberglen.
Speaking to Coach Aberglen earlier in the week, up at the Leicester game, he was real worried about when he would be, his guys would be ready to play mentally and physically. They came out, they did him proud. He had them well prepared.
And now one final presentation to be made for the MVP award. Let's take a listen to the PA.
Most valuable player of the Uniball Trophy 2000 final. He had 1 steal, 2 assists, 7 rebounds. He made the all-important foul shots in the closing seconds of the game at 17 points and 60% from the floor. Yes, it's Diamond Danny Lewis!
Danny Lewis, having never won an MVP until the end of last season, has now won 2 in a row in major finals. The championship last year, and then the Uniball Trophy here.
And he came big down the stretch when they needed him the most. He got a couple baskets inside, obviously the free throws, good leadership, got his team controlled. Again, if he leaves, what a legacy. If he stays, we're all happy, and what the game benefits even more.
Danny Lewis, the man MVP of the final, 17 points, and he did a tremendous job. The 2 free throws, it's the second time in his career he's gone to the line late in a game and won a championship by making 2 free throws.
That's why you practice them. I mean, as coaches, we preach time and again. Free throws are big. They decide games late. Big games, close games, and he's one of the best in the country.
A word from Martin Henlon as well, who's missed the last couple of games through ankle injury and picked up against you 10 days ago. He had 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks. Tremendous performance for him.
And in the last 20 seconds, when they needed to stop, he clogged up the middle. He took away the option down inside to Dorsey. He forced them outside. Just a great game. A leadership game. Was everything they needed, he did it.
Now, one man who's been here several times before, Kevin Cadle, up in the studio. What are your thoughts as you see the Towers celebrating here?
I think one of the things that we said at the start of the game was quality against quality. And, I mean, it was fantastic. Superb performance by both teams. You know, it's one of those games where you say somebody had to win, somebody had to lose. Manchester played a fantastic game. The Towers played fantastic, but 1 point better. They come up with the trophy. It's the, third trophy or the 4th time in 6 years they've been here. 3 out of 4, they've done well. And then you have, H.L. Coleman. I thought he came in off the bench, did a good job. For me, I thought Steve Buckner was outstanding. Here you had a guy with 13 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. I think he did extremely well. He's another guy that you'd have to consider for the MVP because he did it also on the offense and defensive end. But the guy that they voted the MVP is at courtside with Suzanne.
Thanks very much, Kev. The bookies had Manchester by 1, but they do get it wrong sometimes, don't they?
No, before I say anything, I want to do this because I missed it before the game.
Thank you, Danny. Actually, I got 2 then that time.
But I'm not surprised about the bookies having Manchester because they've been playing well all season. They've proven to be a good team. Down the run and even coming from behind. But today, I mean, we were so focused on winning this trophy. We were so focused on doing what we had to do to win, and the guys stepped up. We really never gave up. I mean, Manchester, we ran a close race throughout the whole game, but we never gave up, and free throws came down to the end of the game, and luckily I nailed them to win the game once again.
No team should ever put Danny Lewis on the free throw line at the end of the game, that's for sure. We've seen you do it before. And was there any doubt in your mind, Danny, that it could be done once more?
That's one thing that you can't have once you go to the line, with all that pressure. Any doubts in your mind, you will miss. And I went up there, just breathe deeply, natural stroke, and just shoot my own shot. And that's what I did, and they went in tonight.
Now, we seem to have spoken a lot this season. You seem to have stood courtside with me a lot. That's a good sign, because I always interview the winners.
Some people use deep heat on their knees. Some people take aspirin for the game. but a good kiss on the cheek from Sue, hey, that's all I need.
I'm very pleased to hear it, I have to say. Where did you think was the toughest part for the Towers in that game?
I tell you what, the toughest part was maintaining, our lead. Once we got it, maintain it, and to come back, because they had Tony Dorsey down there. Great player. He gets in there, and I don't know how he finds his way to the basket, but he does, and he's a great finisher. And if we could contain him and Harrison and Holly, then we would be successful tonight, and that's what we did.
You certainly did. A quick word for the losers, because they put up a good fight.
Hey, congratulations, Manchester, but this year belongs to London Towers 2000, baby.
Danny Lewis, congratulations and thanks very much.
Thank you.
Big games, big players show up, and MVP, Danny Lewis, his performance.
Danny Lewis, no surprise, he's the MVP. This is his type of atmosphere, this is the type of ball game. For the last 6 years, Danny's been stepping up when he needs to. As you saw in the fourth quarter, him and Bucknell, they just basically took over the game. The ball was in their hands, I would say 75 to 80% of the time. They control the ball. They got the shots when they needed it, and they got the shots where they wanted them. And on the defensive end, the Towers, as I said in the beginning, their size, you got Martin Henlin, 7 foot, Neville Austin, 7 foot, Donnie Johnson, H.L. Coleman, both 6'8". And it came down to Tony Holly in the post against one of those guys. And, they're just big guys. And, all credit to Holly and Dorsey. But as I said, the size and strength of the Towers, I thought it would prevail, and it did.
Talking about prevail, was it going to be about total team effort? Was going to have to be necessary for your team to win today?
Yeah, I think both teams gave total team effort. I think, I can't fault Manchester's decisions coming down. And Dorsey got it rolling. You got to keep going to him. I thought maybe he overlooked a little bit on the last play. Towers, on the other hand, they played team ball. How about the pass from Bowman and the shot Johnson made along the baseline? That was a big one, as well as Bucknell's runner. So both teams had good team performance down the stretch.
Many great things happened, but we have two guys that were outstanding today. Martin Henlin, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 big blocks. And Steve Bucknell, he had 13 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. They joined Suzanne.
Thanks, Kev. It's at this point I have to look up now. But Martin Henlin, Steve Bucknell, fantastic game. Was there any doubt that you were going to be here? Because we were a little worried about the ankle. Everything seemed okay.
Well, there was doubts up until probably Monday and Tuesday. Then I started to feel good when I started practicing. And I'd been out here like Dorsey. I'd have been out here with a broken leg, But I had to get something for the birthday boy here.
Oh, well, happy birthday. We didn't realise. Is it today?
Oh, yesterday. Yesterday I turned 34. He was 23.
Yes, right. Well, of course, we believe that. But what we do believe, of course, Steve, experience really does count at the end of the day, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think coming into the game, we had 3 experienced guys that we knew that if the game was close, we're going to have a very good shot of winning the game. And we were a little bit right about Martin not playing, and I was sweating last night, hoping that he's going to come through for us. But as you saw today, he played an excellent game.
You certainly did. You all played an excellent game. Tough defence for Manchester, though, but they are a tough defensive team, are they not?
Yeah, they're still the best team in the league. It's got to be a terrible blow for them. Time and time again, they get to the pinnacle and then just fall at the last hurdle. They got to pick themselves back up and come back the next game. They're heading for the playoffs and their own conference. They're a tough team to beat, and we need all the tricks tonight.
And you got them all tonight. What about Dorsey? Because quite unusually, Steve, he was very quiet, certainly in that first half. Was that a key area to your game plan tonight? Because he hardly sunk a bucket.
Dorsey's probably the best player in this league at scoring, and we knew that. But we knew if we could contain him a little bit, we were going to have a chance. And we were able to do that in the first half by team effort. Again, we had some good team effort by Martin blocking his shots and slowing them down. But in the second half, you saw how well he played. So it was a good thing that we slowed him down in the first half.
It certainly was. Now, just quickly, what does this mean? Because you guys have been here so many times before, but each one is special.
Yeah, like I was just saying, is that no matter how many times you get out here, you win a championship, they always feel great. There's no, been there, done that. It's a fantastic experience. It's a new group. This opportunity will never be here again. Next year will be the 2001. This is our day, it's our trophy, and it's just a fantastic feeling right now.
And very quickly for you, Steve.
Yeah, every time it's new, it's unique, and I'm just glad to be here again and picking up a trophy. It feels great.
Well, congratulations. It was great for everyone. It's a fantastic win. Thanks, guys. Well done.
Great performance by those guys, but it was a game full of highlights. A Bucknell to Johnson pass here shows how the big men finish in the first half. Manchester on an 8-0 run. The Giants' big man Harrison shows he knows how to finish also. The Towers stumbled and the Giants play team ball 43-37 to Manchester. Back and forth basketball. Dorsey turnover. And then Lewis makes them pay. 61-59 for the Towers' first lead of the second half. And finally, the defensive play of the year. Indescribable. (74-73), Towers come away victors. Looking at the match facts, Manchester picked it up. You know, Towers were, I guess, that the worst thing they did all day was attempt to shoot a 3-point. You know, they're 2 for 15 from the 3-point line for 13%. I think that's probably the only area where, Chris, you could say they let their team down.
Yeah, but it's probably not their strength, Kev.
Yep.
So, you know, you can't count on that really coming in. If they would have gotten better, it probably would have really changed the complexion of the game. Maybe had a lead themselves coming down the stretch.
Here, yeah, Towers were able to get to the free throw line 26 times, made 20-12. For me, it's always free throws, rebounds in a big game where the team that has an advantage seems to come away with the victors. Towers win the free throw battle by 8 in the game.
Yeah, I think free throws, they played a very important part of the game, obviously. You know, Danny Lewis at the end, Steve Buckner made a couple of big ones. Martin Henlon, who, you know, scouting report said he was injured. But he looked like the picture of health to me today. You know, they made some big free throws down at the end.
And then you have the Towers, only 2 turnovers in the second half. Big difference.
Yes, they control the ball. You know, Manchester, they stepped their defense up, especially in the third quarter. And I think Bowman and Danny Lewis Buckner, they did a superb job controlling the ball. We all know what Manchester's man-to-man pressure can do to you. And I think down the stretch, they did a great job. Obviously, with some help from their big guys relieving the pressure. But, you know, all due respect to Manchester and Towers today.
Two top rebounding teams here. You had the Manchester coming in number 1, Towers number 2. But the Towers won the battle today by 2 on the boards. The leadometer is up and down. I mean, it was no, you know, it was a quality basketball game.
It was an excellent basketball game, but as far as leadometer stats go, the blip at the end is the only one that matters.
That's right. Hey, Suzanne is joined by everybody from the Towers organization.
You're right on that one, Kevin. I'm going to have to muscle my way in amongst these big guys here. I think I'll try and squeeze in amongst the tallest. Move over, Barry. Get up. Let me in. Listen, I could be a point guard, but I'll leave it on that point. We have to go to Neville first, because Neville, I think, along with Martin Henlon, you have equalled Alan Cunningham and Michael Hale's record of winning 4 Uniball trophies, or being with a team that's won 4 Uniball trophy finals. That's pretty good, Neville. Yay!
Well, that's excellent. I just hope we can keep doing it. I'm here with London Towers again next year. Just want to keep the tradition going by winning silverware, and I'll be excited about that.
You're going to have to build a new cupboard, because I don't think you have much room at the moment. You keep winning so much. Barry, a debut for you. How did you feel your first Uniball final?
That's a great feeling. That was a great bunch of guys to play with, and I really had fun today.
And obviously we've got all the other lads here. We didn't see too much of you, but you were supporting all the time, though, weren't you, on the sideline?
Absolutely, we had to be there for him. We were there in practice every day. We were ready to play when our numbers called.
And of course, the same goes for you too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now over here, we're coming to Donny wants a word. Tough game, Manchester. You've got to expect that, haven't you, Donny?
Oh yeah, Manchester played tough. You know, they got a great team, but I think we stuck together and put it together. And we hit big plays, you know. Danny hit them free throws. You know, he our star player, so he's supposed to step up. Yeah.
Now, HL, Manchester, you know, they came very strong in that third quarter. What did you feel you had to do to try and hang on to the lead?
We mainly just wanted to keep our composure and play good team defense and just be strong and tight at the end, and that's what we did and pulled it through.
Now, both Manchester and London Towers, we know you so strong man-to-man defence. Both teams went to a zone defence. Did they give you a bit of trouble with their zone defence early on in this game?
A little bit, but we somewhat adjusted. We had Danny running on the baseline, setting picks, and giving other guys an opportunity. I think that helped a lot.
Now, they're a well-balanced team, though, aren't they, Neville?
Yes, they are very balanced. We knew they were going to be a close game. Like I said, we think we can compete with them. We went up there and we gave them a good game up in Manchester, and we saw the result from that. So it was a big confidence booster for us, and we just came away with a victory.
Was that a big boost for you, Barry, going to Manchester on their home ground and taking that win from, what, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, that was a great confidence builder. I mean, we played hard up there, and we knew we had a little bit of an edge coming into the game because we beat them. So we had a lot of confidence going, and it paid off for us.
Now, I said to Steve and Martin, obviously, Dorsey, you managed to keep him very quiet, certainly early on in the game. Was that part of that game plan today?
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, we knew Tony Dorsey was going to get some points. We just wanted to, try to keep him to his average and try to keep the other guys down, and, that worked out for us.
Anything that was discussed before the game, Donny, that you thought as a team you could do differently that you might not have done before to really try and win this game?
No, we had the same game plan, just the difference was to box them out, keep them off the boards, but we know Dorsey's going to get the points, but just set the other players, don't let them get their point.
Well, you did it by 1 point. It wasn't a big margin, but it was enough, wasn't it, guys? Congratulations, all of you, and well done. Back to the...
Thank you.
Hey, a total team effort by the Towers, and surprisingly, a rookie, Donnie Johnson, ends up the game's leading scorer was 21 points. Here you have a rookie. You come in. Do you worry about those guys being in that big competition initially?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you. But he got right into it. I thought his first shot of the game was a bit hesitant. After that, he tracked down an offensive rebound, which is what he does best. Then he played his game after that. He got out on the break when they could run, rebounded well, finished inside when people gave him the pass.
Towers overall, we're going to have a chance to look at their team stats. 4 guys in double figures. You have to look at it and you go, that's a team effort. You have, Lewis with 17. Henlin, a big 12 points by Martin Henlin, Buck, and Johnny Johnson. You got 4 guys coming in to a final that give you numbers. That's what you want to have.
When you could put players like Martin Henlin, Steve Buckner, Danny Lewis, H.L. Coleman, and 2 or 3 other star quality players on the floor.
Yep.
You're going to have results like this. You're going to win silverware. You're going to have 4 or 5, maybe even 6 guys in double figures sometimes.
Look at the rebounds too there, Kev. I mean, equally distributed. Everybody did a good job on the board.
Did a good job on the board. So Towers for the season, they were our 5th in the league shooting 49%. Today they shot 48%, so they stayed pretty consistent.
Yeah. I thought they played their game. I thought they played their game from out most of the game. And that's what you want. You want to come in and you want to do your things. Back to the rookie question. You don't want those guys to do something that they don't normally do. Same with your team. And
here you have Manchester. You talk about rookies. You got Phil Handy, who's a rookie coming into this game. You look at him and Tony Dorsey combined. They were only 7 field goals and 24 attempts. Combined between those 2 guys, they got to come better in the big game.
Yeah, I agree. We all knew about Tony Dorsey and the defense. The Towers' defense was geared towards stopping Tony Dorsey. But you needed people such as Phil Handy and Roy Hairston. I think Hairston played a super game, but I think Phil Handy could have stepped up a little bit more for the Giants tonight.
And Phil is a guy, for the season, he's averaging 13 points a game. Yep. Against the Towers in the previous 2 games, averaging 19 points. They needed that contribution again from him.
And the shot he took with about 3 minutes left to go, I think, was his first shot in the second half that I could recall. And it's funny enough, the tactic that they wanted to give Dorsey his points, shut everyone else down.
Yep.
They actually shut Dorsey down real well. They shut Handy down, and Hairston and Conlon had good solid games for him.
I thought the guy that shut Dorsey and Harrison down, who controlled them throughout the game, Steve Buckner. I thought he, maybe himself, and I don't know if it was a combination of Buckner and Ron Aberglin, made the changes of whoever was the hot man, let's put Buckner on him, let's make Buckner control him.
I think Coach Aberglin did a great job today. I think his game plan was to slow Tony Dorsey down. Obviously, you're not going to stop him because he's such a great player. But he used a combination of Steve Buckner, H.L. Coleman, Donnie Johnson at times. And, you have 3 people guarding you, and their game plan is to stop you. Eventually, they will slow you down. And I think, as I said in the beginning, he's great at preparing for a one-game situation. Great motivator as well. Good job by Coach Aberglin tonight.
And speaking of that guy, he joined Suzanne at courtside.
Thanks very much, Kev. Now, I think, I bet myself a tenner that I could have read Ron's mind towards the end of that game, and he was going, oh no, not another overtime.
I was thinking, we might have another overtime, and I'm not sure I could have survived it, Suzanne.
It was a great game, Ron. You must be proud of the guys.
I think it was probably a great game to watch. It was not a lot of fun to coach, but it was probably a great game for the fans, and I'm so happy for the players.
If we look back over the season, it's been quite hard, hasn't it, to judge these two teams in preparation for this game, because they haven't really met very often, apart from twice.
Well, I have a lot of respect for Manchester because they're very physical. I thought they played very hard. We had a 6-point lead that second period, and they just come out physically and beat us up and got back into the game and got the lead at halftime. Very, very good basketball team.
What was the game plan going into this? We've talked to the guys about it. Were there any major differences and changes that you were hoping to make?
We were concerned about Dorsey. We wanted to see if we could guard him a little bit. Hairston is always a tough customer to guard. And then we were concerned if Conlon or Baker would make some threes. We were trying to zone a lot, and we were concerned if Conlon and Baker were to make some threes, then it would make it tough on us.
Now, was it a great boost, that win 2 weeks ago up at Manchester?
Well, I think so, because it gave us the confidence that we could compete with them, and they're an excellent basketball team, a very good defensive team, and we have a lot of respect for them, and I think the game that we went up there helped us a lot.
Okay. Well, listen, we've got your two right-hand men. Do stay with us here, Ron, but we've got Mick Beck and Roger Dehaney. Come and join us, guys. But first of all, I'm going to give this back to you, Ron, before I drop it, because it's your first piece of silverware in British basketball, and I'd hate to be responsible for breaking it. But I just go over to Roger. Roger, you've been with this team for, well, certainly as long as I can remember. You must still be so proud, even though you're not playing anymore.
I was happy for the guys, and on the other hand, I was happy for myself because the first one as an assistant coach. So I'm really pleased.
How have you found that transition? Because we were just talking before the interview. It's very difficult being a sports person and then having to hang up those boots and take a different role.
No, I love it. I love, wherever I can help the guys, become better players and win, I'm fine with that.
I'm sure they love having you around equally so. But Mick, this is what, 6 of 6 finals that you've been in now?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't want to tell anybody about it, but that's before coming in today. We hadn't lost a final, so it's nice to win another one. So somebody else is going to get me some one day, but hopefully glad it's not today. That's all.
And how did you feel about the game? Because we expect these sort of games with these sort of teams to be real toughies.
It was just a great game. It came down to that last play, and we knew where the ball was going to go. We just negated that, and after that, a foul could have been called at the end there, but it came out for us. I'm glad.
And a game that you expected, Roger?
Oh, yeah. We knew we were going to be in for a game, and we had to come hard and play hard defense, and that's what we did, and thank God we won.
Just very, very quickly, you didn't call a timeout all game, did you?
No, I didn't have much to say to him. Just play hard. I didn't want to mess them up.
Well, you didn't. They won by 1 point, and that was the 1 point that was important. Guys, congratulations, and thank you very much indeed.
And congratulations to the coaching staff. Your final thoughts on today's game?
Two very well-prepared teams. I think there weren't any losers today. Manchester gave a great effort, but there could only be one winner in a situation like this, and the Towers got it. Congratulations to them.
Chris, you had a chance to talk about it throughout the game. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. Great defense down to the preparation. Both teams took away the strengths of the other team time and time again. It came down to big plays at the end, like most of these games do. Towers happened to make them. Manchester just couldn't come up with that last single one.
You've been here 7 years, one of the best finals ever?
Certainly. I mean, the spectacle, the arena, the show, the teams on the floor, the way it happened, the cameras, everything. We had it all tonight.
I agree. I totally agree.
And here we have something just to change the flow here. Thames Valley this year, you're averaging 11 points a game compared to a career average since you've been here, 23 points. Are you slowing down? He asks.
I hope I'm not slowing down. I don't like to think so. New team, new situation, new coach. I feel really good. I don't think I'm slowing down. I think it's just a new situation.
And here we have...
He slows down.
Yep.
We go backwards.
Here we have the quote of the week for you. If Sheffield doesn't go into the European competition, you're out of there.
Taking a little bit out of context.
Okay. Yep.
It's definitely an ambition of mine to play in Europe, and I would love to do it with Sheffield. If they can't do it financially, then fine. I understand that. If I want to walk because of that, then they can't hold it against me. But it won't be the deciding factor whether I stay or go. I want to be in Sheffield. There's no doubt about it.
Chris won't kick you on this, but North Division, Manchester, Sheffield, battling it out. Who do you see coming away with the title?
It's still hard to say. Me and Chris were talking earlier. We got 2 weeks of the season left, or 2.5 weeks. They've got 5 games. I believe Manchester has 4 games. You never know. Anything can happen. They got, pretty good run coming up. Towers have a very tough run coming up. So, hopefully, Chris and them can do well.
So he stayed on the fence. I hope you enjoyed our game as much as I did, and it's a big thanks to Billy Singleton and Chris Finch, and best of luck down the stretch. Our run continues here with the Southern Conference Clash next week. Next Saturday, the Brighton Bears host the Thames Valley Tigers. The Bears might be bottom of the Southern Conference, but recent victories over the Towers and Lions show they can't be underestimated. Thames Valley have qualified for the playoffs, but the Tigers must be on guard if they want to strengthen their position in the South. It's next Saturday on Sky Sports 1 at 6 p.m. The score sheet has been handed in, and the team would like to congratulate the London Towers as this season's Uniball Trophy winners. See you next time, and until then, keep smiling.
You're my last breath, you're a breath of fresh air to me. In your arms I feel sunshine on a promise, a daydream yet to come. In your arms I feel sunshine. Give up yourself up to the moment. The time is now. Give up yourself onto the moment. Let's make this moment last. You may find yourself out on limb for me. Would you accept it as part of your destiny? I'd give all I have, but it's not enough. And my patience are short.